No, but I'm telling you, carrots and potatoes are as similar as
No,
tomatoes and
Josie,
apples.
why?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
We're sorry, chat.
They are they're like they
Welcome
could
to
be
the cold
cousins.
intro of today's episode of
They could be
Dramonia.
cousins. Look, if you take a raw
Fruit, vegetables, I'll
red
give you that.
apple, like
Yeah.
a really like flowery apple, you know,
Well, you
and
know,
then
fun
you
fact,
take
in French, the word for potato is pomme de terre, which is apple of the earth.
Oh my gosh!
in
Don't
Swedish
give
we
it
say
more.
potatis.
What is it? Patates?
Yeah, potatis.
Oh, patates! Adorable.
And carrot is morot.
What?
Too educational. Thank you, Donk. Yes.
This,
I'm
this is
listening.
Carrot
getting
is
off to a
morot.
strange start today.
I gotta go close my window. I'll be right back.
Oh, because what will the neighbors think when you start saying that tomatoes and apples are the same thing? Like,
Patates.
they think you're nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that is nuts.
Yeah, I agree. It's nuts.
Oh my gosh.
What's nuts?
Well, actually, technically they're fruit, not nuts. But
Yeah, technically, peanuts are legumes.
whoa,
Whoa.
The more you know.
Well, Dutch
They are
don't-
more related to soybeans than to actual nuts.
whoa.
Okay. That's my mind. Just
Your
go
like your hair.
Amazing.
no, my hair is very wet at the moment. My hair is not.
It
it's
looks very washed.
Not, it is well.
Speaking of
yeah.
wet hair, the fucking orb, your your ad reel yesterday
Oh,
when it was just Trady, clips of Trady watching Orb stream and getting wetter and wetter, just more water
Is
poured
that-
on himself.
That's the ad trade he made a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
that's the
Oh,
second
It was
one.
so
Oh, there's a
good.
second
It
one?
was so
Yeah,
good.
there's
Oh
the
my
second one.
Oh my gosh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
It was so
Oh my
good.
God.
You know what else
But
is so good?
which-
Tell
D&D?
us.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, no way.
D&D's nuts.
Roll that intro, Josie.
Dun, dun, bow.
That's not what I was expecting.
Wow, 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 wow.
No! Cut it all! Cut it all! I'm ending. We're starting again. End stream. Start again.
This is not what I expected, but you know, I'm kind of here for it.
I mean, you don't really have a choice though, because you
Can that
don't get
just
any
be,
D&D if you
Can that
don't
just be our
take
new
this
intro
first.
video? We'll just take a
Fix it in
recording of the
post.
start of the stream. We'll just crop Josie's frame out, blow it up, and then like overlay some like natural 30s. You know, just.
Are you saying we're gonna make like a
beautiful.
Doctor Who intro sequence, but it's the natural?
No, I actually want you to use a Swedish show called The Milky Way, which is a really bad Swedish like kids show to play during the summers, where they have a really silly intro, and it's just very, very silly.
Excellent.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
else is really, really silly? Dungeons and Dragons. Please
God.
roll that intro.
But I have to tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Shoot, I used to say.
Whoa, where did that pen come from? The magic of imagination.
I feel like Ozzy, you're not allowed to facepalm because you knew you brought this on.
Well, I feel like the next thing is going to be.
That's it, folks. We are done. We are. This has been.
We barely got started.
Hang on, I'm gonna roll a D20
Whoa.
to see whether we actually get the real intro this time or that fucking abomination.
Roll the intro.
Got a 17. We do the normal intro.
17. That's got to be. That's got to beat the DC.
DC's 19.
Sorry, I make the DC, and it's always higher.
It's always 30. Oh my god.
That's because we're almost, most of us are nearly 30.
Wow, wonderful segue, Orb.
Yep, yep.
Thank you, Rob. I'm
Oh,
closer
you-
to 40 than I am to 30.
Yeah, well, look, we've got the group going. We're all naturally 30,
Oh yeah.
roughly,
Oh yeah.
averaging.
Okay, I'm gonna read this pun from Gaming Golfer, and then we're actually getting started. It
Excellent.
says, the other day, our party's bard failed his save on a petrification spell. He's now finally living his dream of becoming a rock singer.
That's the most
Nice.
normal thing that's been said since we've gone live.
Yeah. But
What a roller coaster.
we are going to actually get into this.
Oh yeah.
Last week on Dramonia, the party fought off this threat of shadow beings that had come tearing through a portal opened up in the woods. Two figures had come out first. One clad completely in robes obscuring all features, and the other seemingly a young magician of some sort. These shadow beings immediately took to George, claiming that they could sense his planeswalker spark. As they attacked George, something within his chest started glowing, like a source of light being pulled to the surface. While some of the party realized that they could close this rift with enough effort, they did not do so in time before a dragon made out of shadows stepped through. Finishing off George, it tore through into his body and stole the light. As this happened, though, Gerald shackled the dragon in a hold monster spell, and a third figure came out of the portal and banished the dragon away, after Nana had managed to take the light from its palm. Unable to give this light back to George, his physical form started crumbling away, seemingly being unmade, not truly dying, just simply unbecoming. As the party questioned what was happening, George said his final farewells, and a pre-written will was handed to the party by the rat Benjamin. You all took shelter within the instant fortress, and as Vice, the young wizard, erected a protective barrier, you all stepped inside. And you are now free to deal with the aftermath of losing a friend. Nana sits quiet by the fire, stirring the pot. She's made tea and is now preparing some form of food, still in her hand, clasping the little mote of light that had come from George's body. Of the three figures, the one clad in rags and cloth had unmasked their face, seemingly a skeleton. And when Rudy showed his face, there was a screaming competition ensued. What are you?
What am I? What are you?
I am Unkar, the hero bard.
I'm Rudy Magic Hands McGee, the
Nice to meet
hero
you.
cleric.
Oh, wonderful. And you see Ungar keeps stripping off these robes, and you can see now it is a full skeleton that has been jury-rigged together with metallic wires, ropes, and other little bits. All of the various pieces of bone being crafted together, not by sinew or tendons, but by materials that had been scavenged together.
Can I do a medicine check? Because I'm curious to know whether it's been done like to replicate all muscles and everything like that. Or would
You
Rudy
can
just be able to see
no,
it?
you can
Yeah.
very clearly see that someone has like drilled holes in the bones and taken like metal wires and like twisted them together like twist ties.
That
Like
is
someone's just tried to made the skeleton stick in the appropriation of a humanoid form.
Ooh, now I really want to know what you are. This is fascinating. Do you mind if I would love to just take a small peek
Oh.
of.
No. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Rudy dives in. He's just like poking and prodding and pulling and is just like this is he's obviously like using this as a distraction to avoid the heavy topic. So he's just like it's like how do you, what happens if I pull this and yeah, he
What was
just loses himself.
what was the name of the wizard lady?
She had only been referred to as F.
F.
Yes, F. And
Alright.
she's taken off her hat and her cloak, and she's wearing very, very simple clothing, but she's got like lots of leather straps and harnesses that have books and stacks of papers attached to them. Like wherever you look on her body, there's a pocket or a little latch or a little something with vellum and parchment and paper just sticking out everywhere.
Yep, nice. um, and if I remember correctly, where we left last week, she was just mentioning about how she knew George.
Yes. Yes. George and I traveled for a few months together, and then he just showed up one day, and we talked. We traveled together. We were both looking for someone, and then one day he just blinked away.
You hear from behind the skeleton. Oh yes, George was very good at that, just appearing at the worst time and disappearing, and then appearing at an even worse time, and then not disappearing for a while.
He always picked the worst time for everything, didn't he?
The chaos he spread on that train.
Yes,
George
well,
did what George loved. And that was chaos.
He did annoy us, that's for sure.
I certainly won't miss that, I suppose. Maybe I will. We'll see. Well, I'm glad you made it through okay. What even was that? What happened back there?
Who are you asking?
F.
F. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
At this point, Rudy yanks on one particular piece of metal and the leg shoots out. Just
Rudy, don't mess with the skeleton man.
But
You
this
know what
is
it's
so
like to lose
intriguing.
parts?
Oh no! You see, this coiled wire here in particular.
No.
If I twang it, you see the arm. See the arm almost punched Arthur. Look at this. I just twang it again. It's
Really.
I think that's a little much, don't
Yeah,
you?
I agree with Gerald. This is
I
getting
mean,
out of hand.
I'm just going to gloss right past the fact that there's a talking skeleton there, and just focus on the fact that there's a lot going on, and maybe we shouldn't make it worse by unraveling the skeleton man. Yes.
not unraveling. I'm just twanging bits of metal to see what it moves.
You can tell, Rudy, very easily that someone has just reassembled a full skeleton.
So it's brand new.
Ungar can feel the pressure of you moving the bits of
Mm.
bone around, but doesn't seem to react to pain.
Oh,
You can tell that these bones are old, very, very old. And they don't seem to be alive in any way.
So, sorry, I don't think I actually asked your name. I heard them call you F. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, I'm just known as F.
Very well. I'm Gerald. This is Arthur and Rudy and Nana Malavora. So
Well, I'm thankful for you all, for saving my friends.
uh, you'll forgive us if we're not so thankful about the circumstances.
I am terribly sorry. The fault is with me. It is purely coincidental and accidental that we ended up where we did. I
Well,
didn't really have the time to pinpoint our exit location, and we just ended up here. Do you know where we are?
yes, wait. Just to confirm, Josie, we did actually work. Did we actually work out where we were yet? Because I know where we are
Yes.
now.
Yes,
Okay,
you did.
good. Yes, we're on the South Shard, and I believe we're in the White Wood.
At least we hope we're in the White Wood. Otherwise, we
If
are.
we're not in the White Wood and on the South Shard, then we're in a bit more
Well,
trouble.
then we
but-
definitely did not get our exit point correct. Then she looks up and you see like Vice has not really been saying anything, but has been listening. He just, God. So you're saying we're on the wrong continent? Completely.
If you didn't aim for the South Shard, then I'm afraid so.
Oh,
You know, this
Where
is
we-
actually more of a common problem than you think.
Where were you trying to go?
and F says, well, I was trying to send Ungar and Vice to the West Shard.
Oh, well, yes, you missed.
As I was trying to say, we were in quite a bit of a hurry, and I didn't have the time to really pinpoint our exit location.
Yes, of course. Why were you being pursued by those creatures?
Oh, they simply don't really like me.
Well,
Except,
they didn't really seem to like anyone, to be fair.
in particular,
Also,
George.
maybe we stole something from them.
We, is that including George?
No. This is recent.
But still, are you sure?
About what?
I mean, George does have sticky fingers and can tend to blink in and out of reality.
I'm quite sure it wasn't George, since I. No. We were stealing a rare object, a few from the dragon that came through.
Oh,
Yes.
right. What was so worth
Well,
all
do
of
you
this?
still have it? And she looks over, and Weiss says, "Yes, it quite. I still have it." And opens like a satchel and takes out what looks like a really grimy, dusty, dirty hand mirror, like a vanity glass.
Right.
I hope that does something very impressive, because if that dusty mirror is what we traded for George's life, then I am going to
Well-
be very upset.
Would you like to try it out?
Would take a look at it. Yes.
Sure. And he just hands it over. Like, seems fine. And F continues saying, that and let's just say the dragon also maybe wanted my portals. No?
That makes sense, because it was very keenly after George who was able to move in and out of.
He did
Yes.
seem enamored with whatever that was that that they pulled out of George.
So it's probably good that we hung on to it then.
Oh, definitely. That is a very powerful thing. I wouldn't know how to use it in the current state, though, myself. It's generally supposed to be inside a person, but
I guess
I don't really think anyone else would be able to use it unless the dragon know of something that I don't.
Well, they seemed to be quite confident in its capabilities, at the very least.
And the Vice has opened a book and is like flipping through and says, "Well, theoretically, if one had access to a spark, even someone else's, even though you couldn't use it to innately travel the planes, you would still be able to use it to power magic that uses planar travel.
Hmm.
A battery of sorts if you had a machine that could open portals."
Right. I can think of some rudimentary ideas, maybe for that.
No,
But
this is going
let
over
me
my
let
head,
me
I
have a
think.
look at this first, and I'll start ritual casting identify on the hand mirror.
Yeah. You cast Identify on the mirror. Ritual casting takes you a couple of minutes. Is Rudy and Arthur, are you doing anything particular during this time?
Nope.
Rudy has essentially removed his boots and replaced it with the winged boots that George wanted for him.
Okay, so you're reattuning. I don't remember.
Yes.
Do they need attunement?
I actually don't know that either. Oh shoot, I should
Oh,
probably
good
send that tweet
question.
too.
Because I know the ones I gave you didn't.
Yeah, so that's why they do need a tuning. So I've
If you got
interesting.
slots for
Okay.
it.
No.
So consider, and it does take attunement
Yeah.
requires an hour.
Yeah. So you know what? For now, then he's
But you
gonna.
could definitely count this as a short rest if you want to.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna. I'm assuming you're spending some time here
I think
Hmm.
I think we'll plan
now
to
that you have an
spend-
extra layer to the Dome Hearth Tower Fortress.
Yeah. In an adamantine tower inside some mystical shroud, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
The staff of withering. If Rudy was to unattune from it, it just means he can't access the magical abilities, but he can still attack with it. Yes.
Yes, but you don't get the bonuses, I
Hmm.
believe.
Yeah, but he can still swing it.
Probably wouldn't be able to like juice the hit with that ability, right?
No.
No,
Hmm.
correct. What is Arthur doing?
Arthur's just gonna sit there. He's
Okay.
meditating over the loss of his friend.
Mhm. After the 10 minutes of your ritual cast is up, Gerald, you do essentially you write down your analysis in your book in the Tome of Nephis. You do what one might conclude to be a magical Google search. As the process is you analyzing the object, writing down, getting responses from the knowledge of the book itself. Pages flicker through, and an image is created, like drawn up like an etch-a-sketch, which is an approximation of this mirror you hold in your hand, but it looks neater. It looks cleaner in the image that you're getting back.
Hmm.
This one is covered in dust. It looks like the actual like reflective surface itself has been covered in some, not necessarily grime, but like it's got smudge stains. There's some patina and rust and the silver borders. It is an omen glass.
An omen glass.
And the way you use it is that you look into your reflection for a minute and you gain a single portent as the Wizard Divination School portent.
Right.
So if you spend a minute looking in this mirror, you see the mirror screen almost cracks. Even though it doesn't physically crack, you see your own reflection shatter, and there's various images of you reflected back.
Hmm.
And you get to roll the d20, and you can keep that roll and replace it with any other die roll that affects you.
Right.
But it has a limited amount of uses.
Like daily or just total?
Daily.
Okay.
Yes, it can have 3 charges and it regains 1d4 charges per dawn.
Okay.
Why did that not?
Is it a custom item?
It is not an item that exists in D&D Beyond. I haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, not that I wanted to steal it off them. I was just going to read it.
Stop.
All right. Well, this does seem like quite a powerful item. Certainly will allow you some small twist of fate, I guess. Needs a
Yes,
bit
we're
of a
hoping
clean,
it will
though.
be useful in the future. We've been trying to scour some of the closer planes for valuable artifacts.
Any particular reason, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, considering the things to come, we figured it'd be better to be prepared.
Oh, I mean, there are many terrible things to come. Which terrible thing in particular do you reference?
Well, the entire return of the divine beings, it's going to it's going to create a cascade of effects throughout many planes.
Oh, that.
Yes, that
That's
we
not
are
great.
very intimately aware of.
Yes, that's why I was trying to send Vice and Ungar to the West Shard.
To
Right.
help prevent it, or to...
And she looks at Vice, and Vice looks around. It's not that simple. I was trying to go back home with the knowledge I had gathered, and simply looks a bit ashamed for a moment. Ask my mom what to do next.
There's nothing wrong asking mum what to do next, surely. Sometimes mother dearest always have the answers.
Yes, it's just a bit awkward.
Oh, you tell me about it. Family reunions always the worst.
If it's anything like the family reunion we had to endure of Rudy's, then quite.
Daryl, make a history check, because you still feel like the facial features of Vice look familiar.
Oh, that's right. You said that there was something familiar.
Yeah, like you don't recognize him, but he looks familiar.
As a garbage roll. Oh wait, hold on. Int. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. I can add a D4 to int-based skills. From the hat, which does
From
not
the
help.
hat.
So
No,
that's, that's a nice
you've got that
9.
feeling. You've got that feeling when you're trying to remember the name of someone, but you keep getting adjacent information. You're getting like similar things that you have associations to, but not the actual information you're trying to remember.
Yeah. Seeing as it's like tickling my brain, I can't quite pinpoint it. I'd probably go, you look awfully familiar. Do I know you from somewhere?
Well, I can't say I know you.
I feel
But
like
then again, I've
seen you
spent the
before.
last couple of decades underground or in other planes.
Oh.
Where are you from?
I mean, around. I can't say I've been on many planes. So if I know you, I probably would know you from this plane.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
I don't suppose you've been around Ebonspire or River Point or
I do. We were trying to get to River Point.
oh,
That's where my mom is.
where your mother is?
Yes.
I mean, it's been a very long time since I've been to River Point, but
Well, she
Did
runs the
spend some time
Crosstop
there.
Circus.
Crosstop Circus. Do I know anything about that?
Yeah, that's where it rings a bell, because you know that the ringmaster of the Crosstop Circus, which is a stationary, like, big top tent,
Right.
has the same sort of dark red hair and pale skin.
Oh, okay. So there's a family resemblance.
Yeah, and because you recognize, like, you've not been to many of the shows, but you've seen her around, you've snuck in to
Yeah, yeah.
make some pockets lighter.
Hmm.
And she was always nice. Like, she never really, if she caught any of you, she never ever, like, reprimanded you.
Yeah, yeah. What was her
But
name?
she looked young. Her name is Naira. And throughout your entire childhood, she never seemed to change. And looking at Vice, he looks like he would be the same age as her last time you were there.
The ring, and that's the ringmaster of the
Of the Crosstop Circus.
Crosstop. Wait, you say your mother? Oh, maybe it's a familiar resemblance that I'm seeing. You're not. What was her name again? At the Crosstop Circus. Nera, right? Was it?
That would be Mom, yes.
Oh, well, I've met her when I was much younger. Always seemed quite nice. That's your mother?
That it is.
Well, I guess that answers why you seemed familiar.
Hang on, asking someone someone from a circus what to do with the impending, destruction of the world.
Now, don't judge someone's.
I'm not judging. I'm just confused.
Well, I mean, people go into all sorts of vocations.
I'm a bit lost. And he looks at you, Rudy, because you did deliberately unveil your face.
He thought he was in a safe place with another skeleton
Yeah.
around.
You do not know my mom, then. And he looks deliberately at you, Rudy.
I have not made my way in that direction ever. No, I do not.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be prejudiced, but are you not acquainted with Jalira?
Rudy, this time, well, he had his staff on the ground. He very deliberately puts his hand on the staff. Acquainted? If you mean the ones bound to destroy her, then yes.
That's a bit surprising, I'm going to be honest. Considering what you look like, I'm sorry. I thought you were...
Are you comparing me to
no,
those mindless...
You are terrifying.
Slams the staff. Abominations that follow Jalira? I am something much more than what they are.
well, obviously, yes. I've seen the things she create deliberately to manipulate them.
Those are not... Sorry, I didn't mean to lose my temper. You aren't allied with Jalira, are you? Because otherwise we will have to immediately destroy all three of you.
let's not. I think
It's
we've all had enough fighting for
inconclusive.
one night.
That is why I need to confer with my mom.
Uh, let's wind back a little bit. What's inconclusive?
My allegiance to Jalira.
And why is that
Oh,
inconclusive?
yes, please
Well,
explain.
I was working. I was studying a gateway, a naturally occurring gateway to the shadow plane in the Underdark, where Jalira was first summoned. And my mom had an agreement with the Lich that lived down there.
Hang on, Jalira was summoned.
Yes, she's a fiend. She's not naturally of this world.
Yes, that much makes sense.
That does, yes. I thought at some point she might have started off as some form of, I don't know, creature of this plane, but apparently
Well,
not.
we know that already that she's gained some lich adjacent.
Well, she consumed
Yes,
the
that
essence of
is
the
around the
lich,
time when
yes.
I left, because essentially my mom had a do not interfere in each other's business agreement with the Lich. And when the Lich was felled and Jalira stole the phylactery, I left, and I have not yet been home to check in where we stand.
Right.
Right.
Well, was the
I
lich...
was told by some people that came to the chasm where I was studying, where my tower was. I was told that they were planning on usurping the Lich, and so I took Ungar here with me and some of my research material, and we entered the maw into the shadow plane. We've been there ever since.
Right. Well, was the lich... Was the lich planning on, I don't know, bringing about the end of the world? Because that's what Jalira
The
is attempting to
Lich,
do.
I don't know, the Lich was raising an army, created a sort of system to create various types of undead en masse.
Well, that much has been done, as from what we can tell. Um,
I'm
But,
sorry, I do not know what happened after I left. I've not kept in contact.
and so hold on. So you're saying that your mother
Yes.
was has been since residing in the Underdark?
No,
No.
she's still running the circus.
Oh, how? What? So then how did this run-in with the Lich in the Underdark occur then?
No, the Lich was already there, and I wanted to study the gateway to the shadow plane, and so my mother
Right.
made an agreement with the Lich.
But how does the
allow
ringleader
me-
of a
I see.
circus make an agreement with a lich?
Well, she had seniority, if you will.
Seniority in what? Again, the ringleader of a circus has seniority over a lich? What? There is something else here. What aren't you telling us?
Explain, please.
I'm sorry. My mother is maybe the oldest creature on the Westershard. She's been running the circus since before the Queen of Ebonspire took seat.
I'm sorry, what?
That is...
Who is your mum?
My mother is probably the last remaining true-born vampire on this plane.
Arthur goes, I'm out.
I'm going to be honest. That is part of why I thought you were acquainted with Jalira. I thought you could tell.
No,
I am.
this
I
is
am only
this
half
is
mortal.
crap. There's no such thing as vampires.
Rudy activates Eyes of the Grave.
Yeah, this dude is undead.
No,
Arthur full on believes
no.
that vampires don't believe.
no,
like,
Arthur,
no.
he's telling the truth. You
How
see
do
that
you even know they're a
you,
vampire?
you see Rudy's eyes have kind of like sunken even further, kind of like more like sockets. He's channeling that power again.
I kind of imagine it personally as
Mm.
like your eyes sort of just like going milky death color, you know, like your eyes have just died.
Yeah. So Rudy turns to Arthur. Oh, I can see it, clear as day. He's telling the truth.
Does it tell you what type of? They could just be putting on a different face. Everything. There's a lot of things that are undead. Vampires are
Arthur.
true.
How do you sense creatures and dragons? You know that feeling, those abilities you have. I do. I can do the same thing, but for undead. And he's setting it off like no tomorrow.
You telling me that vampires exist in this world?
I'm telling you that. I mean, wait. You draw the line of vampires. I exist. What am I, Arthur?
You're not a freaking vampire. You're a.
How is a vampire?
Not be a vampire.
You are.
I haven't tried drinking any blood yet.
Don't. Please.
Arthur sort of stops himself. I'm not going to say what you are, but vampires just don't dragons and
We live in
trolls.
a world.
To be honest, I feel like you're blowing this out of proportion. As far as I know, there's only one vampire. My mother. Yes, and then there are those like me that are part mortal.
So you're half vampire, half mortal?
Yes, I'm what is referred to as a dumpeer.
You're not dumb, darling.
Please forgive Arthur.
A dumpeer. I am.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
I'm half vampire.
Right. So does that only mean you need to drink blood half the time?
Or not at all?
I do not need to drink blood. I sometimes do, but I haven't. It's not something that I need. It's more that it invigorates me. Powers my magic, makes me faster.
And you're not in need of invigoration at the moment, I hope?
Not really. No,
Good.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Though if you do run into my brother, he will probably try.
that's a question for later.
Then they should suck your blood, Rudy.
That's a question.
Nope.
I do not suck blood.
Arthur, stop being rude.
That is not how I do it. That is incredibly intimate, and I apologize, but that is not something I feel like I need to get to know you first.
I apologize for the abruptness and rudeness of our...
Usually it's volunteers that simply offer some in a glass or a vial.
See, that's civilized. That's Arthur. Apologize.
I do feel like I need to apologize. I'm sorry.
You're forgiven. It's fine.
How many half mortal, half vampire people is there in the world?
I don't know. We don't all know each other.
Yes,
I don't
how many
know if
elves
there's
are there in the world, Arthur?
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Exactly.
I feel like there's only two
but-
of me around, but that's...
I know there's at least a dozen.
Elves?
No.
What?
Okay, that's it. Arthur, shut up. Getting
It's
back
been
on
a
topic.
Long day. It's been a very long day, very traumatic. I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. I just want to just deal with today. I want today over.
Yes, and we can get today over as soon as we reevaluate here. So what you're saying is that you were heading back to your mother to establish whether let's just say the vampires, in any case of the word, are aligned with Jalira. Is that correct?
Yes, because we were not, in fact, aligned with the Lich to begin with. We had a sort of
Mm.
don't butt into each other's business.
However,
thing.
now the business involves the merging of planes and, the deity that governs war and
Correct.
coming into this world first and waging an endless war that will destroy and kill almost
I
everyone.
was
Yes?
unaware of those details, but I was going to ask if we are going into a new agreement with Jalira.
There's no
or if
agreement.
we are
There's just the
staying
destruction of the world or
outside.
not.
Yes, I would suggest not. Really.
Although I feel like
I am not comfortable arguing this, considering that I'm not quite in the same span of lifespan, and especially my mom.
Well-
She tends to prefer keeping to her hobbies and thinking the long game.
Sure. Are you familiar with the goddess Suriel?
Theorized to be one of the four bringers of the end times.
Correct. Yes, that's the one that Jalira.
She's
is
not a
currently-
goddess, though, if I recall. Simply a very powerful being.
Interesting. She's referred to as.
I've always known her as a deity. That's interesting.
Yes, she's
On the
been-
same spectrum as the deities when it comes to power, but she's not divine.
Well, fair enough. It's potato as far as I'm concerned.
Carrot.
Um,
Sorry, but can I just mention that Cuddly just came into chat and says I leave for half a session and there's vampires?
Hold on.
so okay, let me just catch you up here then. So
Maybe an introduction of who we are in our formal.
yes,
we
this has all been happening very quickly and in a very higgledy-piggledy manner, I would say. So let me maybe catch you up and maybe reintroduce
Right.
ourselves in a way. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Vanguard of the Black, but if you have, that's us.
We represent
Um,
the Queen of Ebonspire and essentially looking to either protect or find information on the current situation regarding Jalira and the merging of the planes.
Yes,
I'll-
and
I'll go.
Jalira is currently trying to take out all the Ur dragons that are left, absorb their power, so that she can then bring Suriel through as the first deity or deity adjacent thing to
I see.
come through and basically claim all the prime material plane
Yes.
before the rest of the gods or deities or godlings or demigods or whatever things are out there have a chance to do anything.
You
Arthur?
just see
Yeah.
Arthur holding his hand up.
Yes, Arthur.
Yeah, look, I realize I got to be called on to talk now, so I know I said some bad things. Sorry, but why don't
Do
you
you
come
not
in?
claim to be the leader of this group?
It's a different situation.
It's an
like-
honorary title.
No, wait, no.
It's more
No.
of a handsome figurehead, he says.
Yes,
hoping that
I
that
am
that
handsome, but I am
placates.
definitely not a figurehead. I definitely.
And if
touch
there is
people.
any statues to be made in our honor, he will be at the front.
Oh, shucks, so
Alright.
off my. Hang on, we're going back to my question. You should
Oh,
get
I
your
thought we
mum to be
distracted
on
him,
our
Gerald.
side.
Almost.
Well, that is part of why I'm headed home to
Yeah, let's
ask
go.
my mom what side we're on.
Wait, let's go with
No,
to the group.
Arthur.
To the
No.
group. We can go with
Arthur,
them to convince
no,
We don't
vampires
have
no,
to be
time
outside.
for
no.
that. No.
Wait, Oh,
We can't go to the east.
I
Shard.
have a cuddly attempting to join the call.
Oh,
I thought.
Okay, do we go then? Do we go on our
Quick
a
break?
quick early break here? We do some of the
Yeah,
setup.
we can
go
run some
play
ads. Yeah, yeah.
and we
Let's.
get cuddly in here.
All right, sudden
so-
break. Sorry about that, everyone, but we might have a cuddly raptor. Let's go.
Oh
Yay!
shit! Here we go.
Oh shit! I'm going to a
Don't
BRB.
Get
worry
in
about
here.
I don't actually have a BRB screen
Oh.
set up for
It's
Dramonia.
fine.
Neither do I. I've got
It's
a
fine.
regular
We'll fix
BRB.
it in
So-
post.
Fine.
So I'm just gonna
Let's just do it.
move things around.
Heck, let's just do it. All right, remove one of them, Josie. There we go.
Oh,
I did.
All right.
and
Let's
just
see if we can get
slide
everyone
you
on the right
Yeah,
over.
let's find
spot.
everyone. Is it this
I'm
one?
Sorry.
There she is.
Hello.
I did this.
Wait, where did
You know what? It's
That's not right.
where did Orby go?
I'm the problem. It's me.
There's no problem.
Orby went
I-
to. No,
No, wait.
Orby's.
It's fused.
I-
It's fused one of the extra Josies with Cuddly. So you have to.
Yes. I've always wanted to be Josie.
Oh my god.
What?
Ah.
Wait, what?
Hold on. I'm trying
okay.
to.
I'm so
I've got
confused.
her. I've got her fine. I don't know what the.
I'm.
No,
But
but I've
everything
got
is-
Cuddly fine, but I've lost Arthur has just disappeared.
I mean, Orbs walked off camera. If that's what you're referring to.
No, like the chat can chat,
Wait,
you know what I'm
Hell,
talking
yeah,
about.
you're right. Where did
Yeah.
Arthur? Where did
That's
Orb
what
go?
I'm
What
saying.
the hell?
Where-
Sorry, I just like actually.
It just
No,
it
I
just
can- I've
shifted
got
into
him.
a different camera.
Oh, did I just get rid of Orb? I'm sorry.
No, he- Fine on my end. Everything's fine.
There we go.
Everything's
good.
He's
Yeah,
another
alright.
camera.
Fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
there
it
we go.
just suddenly switched to a different
Yeah, that was
video
weird.
feed.
Oh.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
I
fixed
mean-
now.
Yeah, he's
Fixed.
accent.
Yeah, thanks,
I was
Hobbs.
meant to
Just
And we got
imagine a
Cuddly.
BRB
Cuddly,
screen.
how was the concert?
It was really
Mm.
good. Thanks. I had a lot of fun.
Good.
And yeah, I didn't have to go anywhere because it was conveniently streamed. So I was like, yay.
Ah.
You
I could just-
stayed at home?
Yeah, I could just literally be like, oh, they're all done. Bloop, bloop. Hey.
Oh shit.
It was so
Wait,
cute.
That's
so-
so
Love
cool.
So you're telling me it was a real like live concert, but
It
they
was
also had a
live concert that
private
was
streamed
streamed.
version.
Yeah.
That's
Well, a public streamed version.
public
but
stream
yeah,
version.
you had to buy a
Right.
ticket to get it. And
Ah,
yeah.
okay. That's
was really
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. So that allows
Yeah.
like introverts and people who can't go out, like, to actually go
Mm.
to these things and
And I'll be honest, I didn't want to buy a ticket to Korea. This was the more this was the
Oh.
budget friendly version.
wait. You weren't listening to baby metal, eh?
No, I wish
Aw.
I was. No. I was
Okay,
kidding.
Bob.
Papaya.
Oh, I love it. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I've got baby metal in my brain.
I know. How would you do this to me?
Papaya.
I know the name and I know what it represents, but I don't actually know the music at all. So that's why.
I think you would
There's
think
actually-
it was fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's basically heavy metal mixed with J-pop.
See, that sounds like a
Yeah.
great time.
Baby metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Baby metal also
like the
did
chocolate
a
song.
song with a Swedish band.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
if
you
you've
need to
ever
link
heard of
me that.
Sabaton, they did a song together with
No.
Sabaton.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
I think I have
Where
actually.
the singer of Sabaton just goes, nine 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 nine.
That's kind of all I need from a song, if
Oh,
we're being
dear.
honest.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for
Ooh,
randomly. I
don't
was
mess
like,
Sabaton.
oh, should I pop in? Should I not? And then I was like, I'm just gonna say I'm here.
Should.
Just
Mm.
do it.
I did
and,
yeah.
yeah.
text you on Discord though to like
Did you?
ask. I did.
Oh.
I was like, hey, do you want in at the break?
And you
Nice.
texted me like right as I was like, hey, I'm here. I was like, oh.
And then like as we got to the climax of the discussion, all of a sudden my chat heard this big ding dong, and then everything went dark. And
I didn't see the text. I just went, hi, everyone knows I'm here. Ding dong.
Cuddly being like the person
And
who
I'm the
texts,
problem?
I'm here, and then like tries to open the door.
okay.
Oh no, I've become my
No,
parents.
No, so okay, real talk though. Way back when I just finished high school, I was driving around Noosa and like go to my friend's place willy
Hang on,
nilly.
you drive?
Back just after high school. So I was driving to a friend's place. I was that person who would text like just before I left. And then like when I was like halfway at like a red light or something like that, I would text saying like I'm halfway there. And then like I would get there and then text again, I'm here, and then wait for movement at the door before I would like get out of the car. Because I was so paranoid that I was like not like I was there too early or interrupting everything or something like that, even though I was invited to the place, you know, or was pre-organized. Oh,
I love that anxiety brain.
Yeah.
That is just chef's
Yeah.
kiss anxiety right there.
but I don't drive anymore, so now I just go, oh, I'm getting on a train now. See you in like 20 hours when this train arrives.
And we know in 20 hours it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Quick question.
You're
what
cute,
was the
yes.
what was the name of the person we were talking to just then again? Because I know we've got Ungar the
I
skeleton. We've
will.
got F
I
the
will put their names. We've
wizard
got
lady.
F. We've got
Good. Yep.
Ungar
we've
the
got Fs in
hero
chat.
bard, and we have Weiss, like the German for white.
Hang on, Ungar the hero bard, and he was the one who was scared of everything, and that tracks.
And
that
is-
actually
and
tracks
is a
really
skeleton.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
actually
is a
tracks
skeleton.
perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Weiss. Oh, like that. Okay. I spelled
Oh, yeah.
Ungar correctly. So that's,
Oh, I
that's a-
see. Yeah.
Mm.
F Ungar and Weiss.
So my ads are finished, so we could, if we're
Nice.
good to continue
Mine
on,
too.
maybe do a
Yeah.
quick
Yes.
catch up for Cuddly, and then
That's all good. Can I just say how scared I was when I opened the dice tray and saw all these hit dice being rolled, and I was like, "What has happened?"
oh no,
What
that
have they-
was
what have they
me.
done? What
I
have they done?"
couldn't roll my hit dice properly, so that was just me being silly.
Because I saw you, I was like, "What is Rudy fighting alone?" Just please.
Well, they were hit dice. They were
stop
healing.
fighting. Okay.
Oh yeah, I might as well
I don't know.
do
In
that
my
Yeah.
brain,
as
I was
well.
like, "We're fighting
Yeah.
something."
We are
or-
because you can all take a short rest
Hmm.
if you would like.
Oh, you know what? That sounds great.
Hmm.
We love short rests.
It
But
sounds
we're
great.
doing a quick
Anyway.
recap. What was
Mm.
what? At what point did you
Let's
get
see.
in here, Cuddly?
I
'Cause
heard
I know you
that.
wrote about vampires.
I heard that one of them, I'm guessing it was F, is the daughter of a vampire, and
No.
the vampires may or may not be. Who's a vampire?
So
Weiss.
Weiss is a Damphia, which is like a half vampire.
Oh, very sexy. I see. Yes, yes.
And is the son of the ringmaster of a circus in Riverpoint, who turns out to be a true vampire that Gerald has met and didn't know that she was a vampire.
She also
Um,
happens to be the oldest being probably in the world. Older
In the
than
West
like,
Shire.
in the West
Ooh,
Shire,
yeah.
sorry,
Older
in
than
West
the-
Shire.
Weiss,
Yeah.
Weiss said that his mom has been around since before the Black Queen took her seat in the
before the
Evanspire.
Dragons even.
Oh.
That was never mentioned.
No, we haven't asked the
No, we
question,
haven't
but,
asked the question.
Mm.
but yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Just the only reference point he gave was before the Black Queen took
Mm.
her seat.
Okay.
He also explained that the vampires and half vampires had a kind of like a non-aggression pact with the Lich that Jalira was summoned to and consumed the powers of, or stole the phylactery of. Sorry. So
Right.
technically, he might, or the vampires might have a don't interfere pact with Jalira as well, but he was returning to his mother to confirm that. And we were just explaining that we are the Vanguard of the Black and what we're
And-
kind of here
and
to do.
here's a couple of
Nice.
great reasons that Jalira shouldn't be allied with
Cool.
regardless.
Nice. Yeah, so he wants to go. Okay. Have we considered telling him that if they side with Jalira, where they can stick it or no?
Yeah, Rudy
We haven't
already
got to that
said
part.
that
Okay,
they
we
will
have, yes.
immediately be
Fantastically.
enemies. Yeah. Kind of.
Fantastic.
He's holding
Um,
the staff threateningly already.
Look,
He-
Nana's
Oh.
really good at making steaks, and I mean both kinds. So,
And also, the reason that they were in the place they were and escaping from the place they were was that they were stealing a magical hand mirror from the Shadow Dragon, and the
I
mirror
love stealing from dragons. It's such a
and
good
the
idea.
mirror allows essentially allows them to use a portent 3 times a day, which essentially allows them to have a d20 roll on standby to replace something.
Yes, this is something you roll in advance,
It's
and
like
you
a-
have it. And at any point during the next 24 hours, you
Hmm.
can, before anyone makes a roll, you can just swap that die in and say, "You roll this."
Okay.
So you could
that's
potentially
so
store a natural 20, or
Yeah,
I'm
so-
assuming
Or-
does it
or
work
a
on
really
enemies?
terrible roll, and
Yeah.
you can switch that in because you can use it offensively, right?
Yes, the only limitation it has to include the person who looks in the mirror. It has to
Okay.
be an effect that in some way includes you.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah.
So
And Nana's
Yeah.
been listening, so she knows.
Mm.
She's
Yeah,
she's there.
yeah.
Totally.
she's been making the soup or tea. Sorry,
Yes.
you're making tea.
I mean, why not?
No,
soup as well?
I did say at the start that the tea had already been served, and now she's working on a soup. This,
Yeah,
like a soup
I
That
think
thing.
she
and
would
look,
be, yeah.
let's head this joke off the pass. It has tomatoes, apples, potatoes, and carrots in there. All right, Josie, you happy? You happy?
Yeah,
All right,
It's like,
yeah, we can
it's
get
like
going
a
now.
minestrone.
Yeah, we can
Mhm.
I
gloss
mean, they're
over
all
that.
basically the
No,
same
no,
thing.
we gloss it over.
Mhm.
Nope, we're not rehashing this.
We're not
Mhm.
playing the
Hash
intro
browns,
again. We're just going straight into it.
And carrots.
Just
Also, I'm gonna use this short rest to change my resistance to cold.
Oh, that's so smart. Wish I could do that.
Because it's a bit chilly down here.
wait, does that mean Nana got her cold weather gear back?
I mean, yeah, but I can also wild shape into a polar bear, so I think we're fine.
We can save the
Right.
wild shape and just wear the clothing. As fun as
I
it would
just-
be to be a
I'm just
polar
saying,
bear.
I'm fine either way.
Whatever the case,
Whatever the case.
I just turn into a penguin and just belly slide. It'd be great.
All right, I think we're good to go.
Yes. Now, what was my line of questioning right before all of this?
I think we were just explaining the Vanguard and Jalira's
Right.
plans.
You were just about to introduce yourselves as the Vanguard rather than as your personal
collective.
name.
Yes, yes, and yes, when I just said, and Jalira's plan was to bring Suriel back before any other deities or deity adjacent things can do anything. I think that's where we were. So essentially, it's a terrible idea to align with that in any way, shape, or form. Unless you're really keen on the quote unquote horsemen of war getting free reign over things for a while.
I will take all of this information to my mother, but what I say doesn't really matter to her. She sort of makes her own decisions, and
Well, that's understandable. If she speaks for...
I mean,
Yeah.
my memories of her were never unkind. She never.
oh no, she's not unkind in any way. I'm just saying that I won't be able to necessarily persuade her if she's already set her mind to something. I'm just
Right.
saying that I can tell her all of these things, and that's it. And she will do with it what she will.
That's understandable. You know, there are many. Again, I'm sorry for my hostilities earlier. I just
No, it's fine.
we've been through a lot.
Warranted, I suppose.
Tonight has been a time for all of us.
I have an idea though, because I'm assuming you would be wanting to get going as soon as possible.
Yes, so I suppose.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong. One of the items that George left Rudy was a pair of sending stones. Yes.
No, one sending stone, because the other one is in the possession of Vada, the dragon girl that travels with the help.
Ah, damn! I thought it was two.
So you have ways of communicating with the help now, though.
Okay. Okay. My mistake. Oh.
That's helpful.
Well, no, not really. And yeah, I heard the joke, but no, not to what I wanted. Okay, we'll never ignore. No, wait, it's a silly idea. It won't work. If only there was a way of contacting one another, because I feel like if your mother does decide to not ally with Jalira, maybe it would be possible to have her reach out to the Black Queen. Maybe
I'm sure she could.
information could be passed. I mean, if you're not allied with the being that wants to help destroy everything, then maybe not directly opposing, but sharing information might be very useful.
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand what you're trying to infer. You're speaking very roundabout.
Well, it's more of, if your mother doesn't want to get involved with. Look, you're either not going to get involved, or you're either going to help Jalira, or you're going to hopefully help prevent all this from happening. That would be the three outcomes I can see.
Most likely, yes.
Therefore, what I'm suggesting is if your mother does decide to, not get involved in a direct way, maybe just somehow contacting the Queen of Evanspire might, and delivering any information regarding Jalira or her past that we might not know.
If my mother doesn't want to get involved, she won't get involved at all.
All right, fine.
Well, regardless of how your mother feels, what are your thoughts on it? Otherwise, you are still your own person, I expect.
Yes.
So what do you think
About Jalira?
about the things we've just told you?
I'm not sure.
What are your thoughts on never-ending war? Fan? Not a fan?
Going to be quite honest, I don't think it will impact me that much.
How so?
Well, my studies lie in gateways to other planes.
So if it doesn't affect you, then why bother interfering or getting involved at all? I see. That totally makes sense. 100%.
Yes, because, I mean, of course, Rudy, because
Mm.
war has never involved parties that didn't want to be a part of it, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, I think it's only ever parties that have 100% been for war that have been involved in wars. Isn't that right? And it sort of like turns the
You're
eye.
being
eyes at,
sarcastic, are you not?
I believe that's how it's done, yes.
I do not fight, but it is in my very blood to be able to. I can tell that I would fare quite well in a world like that. And if I didn't feel like partaking in the war, I could simply go elsewhere.
That's convenient
yes.
for you.
I'm just saying, from an objective standpoint, it won't affect me as much as most.
Find a plane where the deities or deity adjacent don't have as much influence, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yes, go as far away from the conflict as possible.
Well, that's convenient for those of us who can do that.
It is. And that... I'm sorry if that's not the answer you wanted, but it is the truth. If my mother decides to fight for this world, go against Jalira, I will stand beside her.
And
But if she decides to align with Jalira, I most likely will as well.
Ah, so you have no spine whatsoever, is what you're telling
Hey,
us.
whoa, Gerald.
Oh,
not
I'm
about
sorry, Arthur.
spine.
We're
It
just
is.
talking with someone here who is indirectly responsible for George's death, and now they're telling us that, oh, if Mummy Dearest happens to align themselves
You could have
with
run. We
Jalira.
said run when we came through the portal.
But we don't run. We
We didn't have
protect
a
those that we
choice.
feel need assistance when needed.
We couldn't.
We were running.
Would you have
we
gotten
didn't
away?
get very
Do you
far.
We have the capabilities to do so, yes.
Well, that's convenient for you. We did not at the time.
I'm sorry then.
Well, sorry's not going
But
to bring
it's-
our dead friend back, is it?
No, it's not. But it's also not going to help you to blame someone else.
No, what is going to help us is, I think we should go. I think we should get on with it. Honestly, I've had enough. I've studied this mechanical skeleton. It's all dead. It's of no interest anymore.
Okay. How would you treat me like this? Make me undress for you, and then you throw me
You
away.
undressed yourself. I just took advantage of the
Like-
situation.
And
Well, maybe you want to take advantage of something else?
I will
alright.
sacrifice you to
Eyebrows raised, but
Urgathoa
you see none.
if that's what you want. I'm sure she
Right.
would be quite happy to have some more bones to add to her collection.
I definitely think he's trying to throw you the bone, Rudy.
Arthur,
Here.
do you really think I am so dim-witted that I did not understand?
Okay, bye. Arthur's like, see you
So-
later, so I'm out.
so essentially, what I understand, Weiss, is that you don't care about anyone other than yourself, and you have no opinion unless your dearest mother tells you to have one. That's not very reassuring for us, as you might understand.
Well, I never intended to reassure you in anything. I was answering your questions.
Look, Gerald,
Yes.
we're not going to dissuade or persuade in any way, shape, or form here. I think honestly, we should just go. There's a town. We were on our way. We're going to get. Hopefully, we'll still get there before nightfall, and we should just go.
What have you, F? Do you have an equal lack of care about our dearly departed
You look over and
friend?
she's like scribbling on a piece of parchment, like she's just frenetically writing something. She looks up. Huh? What?
I was asking, do you have an equally laissez-faire opinion of all of this?
Of all of what? Sorry, I was not listening.
And Gerald will just repeat just everything that is just discussed in as short a form as possible.
I have my own quest, if you will. I need to find my daughter. That is currently all I can think of. After I've done that, I would probably align with the proverbial forces of good. I don't really care much for the undead. They're quite dull, boring.
Oh my God.
Let it go.
All right.
Let it slide. She means the actual normal undead, not you, Rudy. It's okay. Just let it slide.
I think the main thing here is that we've got enough problems on our plate, and I'm trying to decide whether all of you are going to be one of those problems or not. And from the sounds of things, Weiss, you sound like you're very likely to be a problem if your mother, who we have no idea which way she'll swing on this, deigns to make you one.
Arthur, Gerald, though, if we decide to make enemies now, then we are actually making a problem
You,
that
you are more
might
than
not.
welcome to talk to my mother yourselves. I'm simply saying I do not bring her opinions, I bring her information.
Maybe we offer.
I don't think you understand. You say I'm spineless and can't make choices for myself, but you do not understand how the dynamic of having a mother millennia old.
No, we
Her
don't.
perspective is quite unique.
Look, how about we offer a means of communication, and we leave it at that, Gerald?
How about you eat your soup before it gets cold, huh?
Oh, and Joe realizes he's been holding this
Yeah.
bowl of soup for God knows how long.
He
now.
actually wasn't holding it like seconds ago. Nana literally just
Like it
put
just
it.
slid it in
yeah,
there. He's
yeah,
like, oh, I must have. Oh,
Yeah, he has no recollection of obtaining of this bowl of soup that has
no.
appeared in front of him.
Stealth plus 100.
Thank you, Nana. And he'll sort of start eating.
Vice, is there any way that we would be able to get in contact with you once you do know your mother's stance on this?
Do you have any magical means of communicating?
Yes.
Because I have some as well.
Do you sleep?
Sometimes.
So creepy.
Why?
I will see you in your dreams then.
Oh, Gerald!
No,
Arthur
that's
does
quite a
go,
funny
"Alright."
joke. Are you talking about the dream spell?
Oh, are you familiar?
Yes, yes. Good one.
It is quite useful.
Right. Well,
I was thinking something akin to the sending spell.
Oh, a bit more limited on that front.
All right.
well, regardless to how your mother's stance on things, if you could maybe contact us when you do know, or maybe and let us know, that would be wonderful. Because that way, at the very least, we could. Oh well, I suppose you wouldn't contact us if you wanted to. If your mother wanted to align with the Jalira, or you might still
No,
contact
I
us.
can
And,
call you regardless and just tell you to prepare yourselves. I
That-
don't know.
that would be very,
Nice.
very civil.
All right. We really.
I
should be-
harbor no ill will towards any of you.
You'd just
It's
try
just-
and kill us if you're.
Gerald, keep eating your soup, please.
Eat your soup.
I already did. I took a few spoonfuls of yours while you weren't looking.
Don't.
Dude, what? Oh.
And as you're eating, you see F opens like one of her books, and you realize it's not so much a book as it is like a folder binder. And she unclips something, rips out a couple of pages.
Hey,
and
thank you
hands
so
it
much
to
for the
you.
raid, Anna. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Like, right.
Hello.
It says, "You said you were
Welcome on in,
unable to
Andrew,
do
Anna, James, and all of the chat that's coming in. Welcome into our Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Hope you all had a wonderful time with Anna from the Shire playing Escape Simulator. Hope you continue to have a
And
wonderful
they
time with
put,
us
like,
here
pieces of
with
vellum
our
parchment
TTRPG
have, like,
that is
magical
not really tabletop.
skiffers, along the borders, and then
Enjoy
just, like, an empty
the story. Enjoy the campaign. We're in a roleplay heavy
You can make an
session
Arcana
tonight,
check
so
if
no
you
real
want to
combat or
very
anything like that tonight.
try to survive
But
some
good
sort of-
conversation, good roleplay, and hilarious characters to get to know. So welcome on in. I do have to get back into the story. We try to stay in character and in game for as much as possible, but I will communicate via text when if questions are given to me. So thank you again, Anna, for that wonderful raid, and I will chat to you all via the chat. Thank you again. Hey, Blue Koala. Hello, lovely to meet you as well. Hello.
You look them up and down, and you're not quite certain. It's like you It's like seeing an alphabet you're familiar with, but the code itself, the way it's written, doesn't really make any sense. You'd need some more time, probably.
I'll sort of have a brief look at them. This is a unfamiliar setup on these. What is the?
Oh, and she looks up from her writing, and she puts like the quill in one of her pockets, and it disappears. And she takes the scroll that she had just finished, and you can, like, looking over, you can see it is a fireball scroll that she's just made while you've all been sitting here eating, and she just rolls stuff and puts it in one of the pockets.
Fine.
She says, it's a, how should you say, a pre-charged spell scroll.
Oh,
But it's like imagine a spell scroll that's 99% done.
oh, okay, yes.
So, oh, and she looks at your rod, and she yanks your rod away from you, like, and just takes it. This, and she points. You made this from a ring of spell storing, didn't you?
Yes, quite perceptive.
Think of it similarly. You can cast a spell onto the parchment, and you have a spell scroll.
Oh, that's quite ingenious. I've never seen that done before.
This also looks amazing. How did you do this? And she starts like looking over, and like as she's just handling your rod.
Oh,
And
Excuse me?
she, like
Not in front of my
rips
soup.
out a piece of paper and starts like sketching down and like essentially making a little sketch. Of your
Gerald
rod.
is like quietly a little bit chuffed that an actual wizard is praising his work,
rod?
his rod.
The rod, here's
Um,
it's even got
and,
jewelry on it, you know.
Yeah, it's
I gotta
got
go
some-
again. I'm sorry. I just remembered I have another concert to attend. I gotta get out of here.
I'll be like, oh well, I had I came up with the design and sort of give her the brief rundown of how it came about and what went into it. There was originally a pearl on the bottom that we had sealed there with some what's the name of that ice? The non-melting ice.
Oh God, Nana would know,
I-
but Cuddly doesn't.
Darcy can only think of the Pokemon item Never Melt Ice. So
No,
sorry.
that's not it.
What was
Yeah,
it, Tracy? The ice.
Spherera.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
Spherera.
Spherera. I don't know if I don't think I would ever remember that name, but Gerald might have. So yes, well, I attached it on with a Svera. Yes, I think that's right. And then we druid crafted the wood into the appropriate holdings.
Quite ingenious, actually, way of counteracting elements of various items to make them function in harmony.
Yes, because it was it needed to be able to resist some elemental stuff at the time.
I see.
But it's been updated since. This is version 2.
Oh, well, I'd be keen to see what happens with version 3.
Well, we'll see, won't we? All right. I appreciate a
But
bit
roll
of curiosity.
roll me 2d4 plus 2.
Nice to talk shop. 2d4. That's a 4 plus 2 is 6.
6. So you have 6 of these pages where you can essentially cast a spell,
Oh, wow.
and then it's just a functional spell scroll of that
Holy
spell.
heck.
But they are one-time use items.
Oh, of course, yeah. But that's still amazing. That's
Yeah, but it's very obvious that's her gimmick as well, like looking on her as a character. She's just
yes. But nonetheless, that's gimmick or no. This is very clever stuff. I wish I could do something like that myself.
It is quite handy to always be prepared.
Oh,
Because
how fun.
even though I may be a wizard of some repute where I'm from, you can really only memorize that many spells at any given time before you start jumbling them together in your
Oh,
head.
tell me about it.
So I just found it easier to write them all down. And then I
Hmm.
realized if I make more copies is even easier. And it just escalated from there. And she sort of like she takes saw what looked like almost like a backpack, but it's more like a back harness with these like 5 feet wide scrolls. And there's like
Jeez.
5 of them stacked on each other, and she says these are pre-made circles of teleportation.
Oh,
Can you imagine how useful it is to be able to use them at a second's notice rather than have to
Oh.
sit down and scribble on the
Absolutely
ground? First of all, you got to
fabulous.
find a flat surface. You need to have something to write on.
I mean,
Or,
if
uh,
I
surface
just
that could be
if I
written
just
on.
say the magic words, I can take us back to Ebonspire whenever we want.
Well, that's just to the one spot.
That's
Circle
true.
of teleportation is very versatile.
Yes, and these ones where I've left, the only parts I've left out are destination, essentially.
Oh, it's quite ingenious. And of course, because your point of origin is always going to be the parchment itself. That's quite ingenious.
Yes. So yes, I just at some point I just realized that it was just a lot more convenient, and it makes me feel safer. You know, imagine waking up in the middle of the night and you feel like, oh no, I can't reach my components. I'm too tired to remember the
Uh,
spell.
That's one of my many nightmares.
Yes, it was for me as well until I figured this out.
Anyway, should we get going now? I feel like
Going? It is.
And- and-
hold on. It is nighttime, isn't it?
It's getting eveningy, and
Oh.
Ungar says, "You keep saying that you're about to leave, but it's your house." He just like gestures towards
Yeah,
like
we're-
the
we're
adamant
in the t- we're
building.
in the
I
tower.
felt like we were on a time crunch. I thought we had to get moving quickly to, do the things that we need to do.
Do we? I don't know if we still, after all that, do we still have time to make it to the town?
What do you think, Arthur? Do you think we have enough time?
If
we continue traveling how
You
we
can
were?
actually. There's
Make,
a
make
hatch
a
at the
survival
top.
check.
You can climb up
Make a
the tower,
survival.
and you
Yeah,
can
we
look
might
out
have
from the
to
top.
go for a bit of a look first.
Be right back.
Okay,
Do that nature check while we're waiting.
Not nature.
but yeah, because there
Oh,
are
whatever the check was, survival, sorry.
The fortress does have battlements, so you can go up onto the top and have a bit of a look see.
Sorry, it was my dryer. I had to
Ah.
touch it to feel if it was just damp or if it was cold.
Not again. Bane of my existence. Just
Had
put her
to
on your
check
face.
if
go,
it was
"Probably
damp
fine."
fear. Oh,
Hi, kitty. Okay,
So,
fine.
Don't know if
so
you want a
Ken.
nature or survival.
no survival.
So, yeah, I want to go up, see how far away we are.
How high is the instant fortress?
good question. It is Instant Fortress. Fortress is a square tower, 20 feet on a side and 30 feet high. Arrow slits
Okay.
on all sides and a battlement atop it.
It does not quite reach all the way above the canopy.
Oh, Arthur comes back down. No, you'll have to fly me. You can't quite see over the trees.
Oh, all right. You'll all be fine down here for a moment.
I mean, as long as my bow keeps refilling with, oh, look at that, more soup. Thank you, Nana.
Good soup.
It's good soup.
Soup.
Good soup.
All right. Well, I'll go up the ladder with Arthur and fly him up from the battlements above the tree line.
Make another survival check, Arthur. This time you can have advantage.
Yay! Make that a good old 21.
21.
We're glad I got advantage.
Looking, you can see some of the lights from this town. And this time, looking over, you can see the color of the smoke trails coming from this town. It doesn't really hit you with a sensation. It doesn't have that dark fire smoke.
Mm.
It's a lighter color to the clouds. It's more like akin to your own breath as you exhale in this cold air. It's steam, you might
Okay.
probably assume, rather than fire smoke. But you
look,
can see the town, you see some lights, and you think you're maybe 2 or 3 hours out.
how far would it be by broom if Gerald and I was to?
Same speed, since Arthur allows for double overland travel speed.
Okay.
So flying would probably take the same amount of time.
Okay. Yeah, look, it could be a couple of hours, Gerald, and that doesn't look like smoke over there. That looks like steam.
Oh. How can you tell?
Look at the different colors of the smoke. You know, fire generally is darker.
Oh,
Steam
yes.
is generally more white.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about it, I guess.
But yeah, I think a couple of hours it would be there. How much light is in the day?
You looking at it now, the clouds are getting darker. The snowfall is getting heavier. You've got some protection from the snowfall with all the trees, but that also comes with more darkness. You'd say there's maybe only like half an hour, 45 minutes of light left.
Look, Gerald, we might be better off to stay here tonight, travel tomorrow, unless we're going to be traveling in the dark.
I really don't want to travel in the dark through a forest in the snow. That
Yeah,
seems
alright.
like the best way to get lost.
Well, sounds like we're staying here tonight.
We'll be nice and safe in here at least.
Yes, we'll be nice and warm, cozy. We'll have soup.
Had soup.
I'll bring us back down, and I'll
Yes.
Gerald flies
Had
back down to the battlements and climbs back down the ladder, sealing it up behind him.
You climb back down.
If you left any soup in your bowls when you left, it is gone.
Arthur's yet to serve himself one. He's just hasn't been hungry enough.
Nana serves. You don't serve
Yeah.
yourself.
Mhm,
How dare
mhm.
you take that away from Nana?
How dare you? I serve. But I probably would have been like, and like guarded that one. Been like, oh,
She knows Rudy well enough.
Yeah.
See, there's actually a decoy soup, which is always
Decoy
like.
soup. It's like, oh, this one's for you. Yeah. Nana did not have any soup, by the way.
I feel like Nana would probably even have a sixth sense for it at this point. Like every time Rudy goes to put a hand towards, there's just like spoon whack.
Nana, you hit me hard enough. I'm going to lose a finger when you do that.
Oh, that won't be too different, will it?
Not having
When you
any
come back
spoon just makes it
down,
easier to wrap across the knuckles.
F says, pretty much addressing the entire chamber, says, well, since we're back on the correct plane at least, I could bring us to River Point at any time, really. So if you want us out, we can leave. But I wouldn't mind sleeping. You know, roof over our head.
Well, F, Ungar, you two are more than welcome in my, as far as I'm concerned, to stay here, no problems. Weiss, you can make your own mind up, I suppose.
Oh, just real quick, sorry. I had a raid when we kind of changed the conversation topic. Did we conclude that there was a way of communication, or?
Spell scrolls, I think.
Okay, cool.
There
Sorry,
was, there were
And
between
dream. Yeah.
dream spells.
alright.
Vice has access to the sending spell.
Excellent. All right, cool, awesome.
And just like yelling really loud on like a cliffside. Like that
Yeah,
would be a
that
fair
works,
option,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
but, you know,
Perfect.
kind of
Thank you.
tires you out. So
Nana could summon carrier pigeons, I guess.
Carrier
could,
methods. Did you just say
actually.
carrier methods? How?
Carrier
Carrier
methods.
method.
yeah, it could as
Oh,
well.
oh, plague methods. Gonna write that idea down.
Oh, see, please,
Oh,
someone
God.
method
With-
rotate to Rudy so well.
No,
We haven't
that
had
sounds
method set
awful.
for ages.
What about an undead method? Would you like undead method?
Skeletal
Oh.
methods.
Bone method?
Bone methods.
God.
Please let me summon a bone method. Oh my god.
Rudy casts divine intervention. The ground opens. A bone method jumps out.
What a nightmare.
No eyes to stare at you with, so it's an improvement.
Well, like I said, you're welcome to stay in the Tower of the Night. And I think we all just need a rest after that.
Arthur sort of sits down, pulls out some paperwork. He goes, "Time to keep myself distracted." And he's grabbed the soap, and he's like, the soup.
So, excuse you.
He washed his mouth out. He's grabbed the soup, and he knows Nana's looking at him, so he's had like 2 teaspoons and just sort of put it back in. Keeps working. Every now and again, just looks over at Nana, has another sip, puts it back down.
If you look to the other side, you see Rudy there, just like half in shadows with a bigger spoon, just waiting, watching.
Are you ready to do some paperwork? Because you can do some if you'd like.
Yes, paperwork.
And Arthur sort of like moves the bowl just slightly across the table, see if like the head moves as well. And just follows the bowl.
The Rudy's head does not, but his eyes is certainly tracking the ball.
He waits till Nana's not looking and passes the bowl to Rudy.
Oh my god. We're not doing this again, Arthur.
If there's no if there's no further conversations of great importance or that sort of thing, if it's sort of just idle chit chat from this point,
I mean, unless you have anything particular that you want to talk to these NPCs about.
I think we're kind of exhausted
Oh,
the dialogue choices.
yeah. Sorry. You would have asked. Let me just check on.
I
my
have
notes.
not done much of anything about Nana's lines of questioning since you came in before I had
Oh.
a chance.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Well, now that everyone has eaten, and if everyone kind of seems to be dying down with the whole Jalira thing, Nana will turn to F and ask, "So how did you know George?"
Well, they did ask that.
They
though.
did ask that. Okay.
Yeah.
that
Then
was
she
the only
won't,
thing that we
and
had.
I'm joking.
F and
April
George
Fools.
traveled. F and George traveled for a couple of months together because they were both looking for someone, not the same person, but they decided to travel together.
Okay, awesome. Have they asked about the spark?
Yes.
They have not.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, we have
Oh,
not,
I
not
thought
what
we-
it.
Okay.
No,
No, not what it
not
is.
not
Okay.
really about the spark itself.
Itself. Yeah. If everyone's kind of quieting down and like, I don't know, I feel like it's more of like a private question where she's just kind of like, she leaves the boys to their soup antics and she kind of sidles over to F and just,
Well, yeah, because interestingly, that was kind of what I was gonna do as well. Is just have a little chat
yeah. Oh, you can
F
definitely
about,
listen in, but yeah, it'll be
about the
like a-
spark.
yeah. So she's tucked it in a handkerchief and she sort of had it like in sort of close, and she pulls it out and she just goes, F, I'm assuming you know what this is. And she's very, very hesitant to even show. You can tell she's like ready to pull it away at any second, but she just holds out the spark a little bit.
I know what it is, but I wouldn't say I know how to use it or necessarily how it does what it does. It's not like I've seen a bunch like this before, but I've read enough books, enough tomes to know what it is.
Well, how did George get it? Did he steal it? He steals a lot of
No.
things.
Probably it's more like how oysters make pearls. It is a wish, essentially. It is a need so pure and so distinct, so inspired that it takes physical form. It
Well,
is
that's
a,
our
re-
boy.
a refined want from within George.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like how pressure makes diamonds out of coal. Something within George wanted so hard and so bad and so thoroughly. I don't know what the want was, but it was strong enough to create this.
I don't know either, but I have some ideas, but all right, well. All right. Thank you.
Nana, do you mind if I have a look at it, if that's okay?
She's very hesitant. And she just goes, You're not going to do anything to it, are you?
No, I just wish to examine it, really.
All right, just for a minute. And she hands it over.
Sort of, Gerald sort of just cups it for a moment and sort of just like, and this is all that's left of that little rat bag, and it's kind of, yeah, there's kind of almost a finality to holding it, even though we just watched him turn to dust. There's this finality to just holding this one and only thing really that remains, that's still not just a thing that he's left, you know. This is kind of as close to a body as they have. So it's sort of
Body. Let's go. We know what to do with it.
so it sort of like just has there's a quiet moment before he actually like shakes himself a little bit and tries to distract with a more scholarly approach to it, and and actually starts having a closer look, turning it over in his hands and seeing if he can discern anything about this, like whether it's just energy, or is it a physical object that contains stuff. Like, yeah, he's just trying to get a better idea of what this is.
Make an investigation and arcana check, both.
Okay.
Oh.
I think that's the same anyway. Oh my god, my rolls. So the investigation is going to be an 11 plus 1. Okay, so it's a 12. And the arcana, I think I'm going to juice this one, possibly, is going to be a 21 plus 4. Oh, that's not bad. So 25 for the arcana. Do I have, oh, hold on. Do I have Dark One's Own Luck? I think I got that back, right?
You just had a short rest as well
Yes.
during
So
this,
so add the
you
D.
would-
I'll throw the D10 onto the crappy roll.
investigation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's another
So,
5.
17 and
that.
25.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the first things you realize is that this doesn't have a distinct physical form. You can feel yourself holding it, but every time you touch it, it feels like it's changed shape ever so slightly. Like it's constantly, it's a constantly refracting light, and it's very bright. Even though it's dimmed significantly since leaving George's body, it's still very bright. It's hard to look at directly. And what is coming out of it is definitely energy. Powerful energy. You are convinced that you cannot muster the amount of power that is within this object. And you you feel like this power could definitely be harnessed in some way. They mentioned earlier that someone might use it as a battery for some form of magical device. It might be able to open portals. It might be able to recreate the plane shifting of a planeswalker. You have no idea how to, just off the top of your head, tap into any of the energy, but there is a tremendous amount of energy in this item.
This is truly a fascinating thing. I guess as fascinating as the boy it came from. Thank you, Nana. I have some ideas that we can maybe think about later for this, potentially.
And she tucks it back and she nods, but you can tell she's not really listening.
And Gerald's like speaking to Nana, but almost to himself as well. Anyway, it's like it's been a day, and it's obviously telling on them.
Day and a half.
Yeah,
A day.
A day.
But if that is it, you all wind down for the evening, knowing for the first time that tonight no one will be able to keep tabs on you. The additional field of magic erected by Weiss protects you from divination magic.
Yeah, that was the one other thing that I wanted to do, was to ask F if she knew the spell that he cast.
She does.
And would it be possible to request or hire even her to transcribe the spell into my Book of Shadows to be able, so I could cast it ritually?
You have a conversation with her about it, and it is not actually a ritual spell.
Oh, but didn't he cast it as a ritual?
No, it takes 10 minutes to cast it normally.
Oh, okay. So it can't be ritual cast. Dang.
It can't be ritual cast.
Curses. Well.
But I will say, though, make an Arcana check again for me.
Oh, I mean, I love all of these proficient checks you're having me do here. If I could just
can I just make wisdom checks all the time?
Yeah, right. Plus, now that I'm remembering that I can do this, well, +1, so 23.
Nice.
Having a talk, I'm gonna say that you and F divulge into this really deep magical theory discussion that goes on for hours.
It's such a nice distraction too.
It is such a nice distraction, and this is someone who is also in a way traditionally taught in magic. While the way you cast magic is definitely different, you were both taught magic in a curricular fashion. And it is so nice discussing magical theory. And while it turns out that the properties of your Book of Shadows would not contain the spell itself, and it seems to be a spell that you're unfamiliar with, the way that magical knowledge sometimes comes to you, whether through remembering or just somehow you know these things. I'm going to say that she hands you an incredibly detailed, written on the spot, a sort of manuscript for this spell.
A thesis.
A thesis, a manuscript, an instruction guide. And I'm going to say that if Gerald spends 48 hours in total studying this manuscript, I will allow you to add this spell to your repertoire anyway.
Oh,
But this is instead of just
Nice.
magically transcribing it into the book, this is
Gotcha.
Gerald having to
Yeah.
study.
study.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
This is study time.
Still though,
That's pretty
That's-
good.
that
That's
is
really nice.
Because I can tell you, I will tell you what this does. You will not be able to upcast it. It will be base level, which is 4th.
Mhm.
It is a 4th level spell. And what it does is you can create a an area that is anywhere from 5 feet cube to 100 feet cube.
Oh. That's a big one.
Yes.
It's a
And
big one.
it takes 10 minutes to cast, and you can choose any or all of the following effects for the area within. Sound cannot pass through the barrier at the edge of the warded area. So sound coming from inside doesn't travel out of the barrier. The barrier can be a warded area, appearing dark and foggy, preventing even dark vision to see into the area. Sensors created by divination spells cannot appear inside or pass through the barrier or perimeter.
We love that for us.
Mm.
Creatures on the inside cannot be targeted by spells of the divination school.
Fantastic.
Nothing can teleport in or out, and planar traveled is also blocked. So you can
These are
choose
all
any
great
number
things.
of these
Really good.
at the casting, but you need 48
Hey, thank you
hours.
so much
Yeah,
for the
48
raid,
hours
Grimwolf
of
Prime.
death.
Thank you,
Long
thank you so
time
much.
study.
Welcome on in, everyone. Hope you're
That's
all
probably,
having a
that's probably
wonderful,
few
wonderful
weeks.
evening or day,
Yeah,
depending on where it is in your
it's
time
not
zone.
something you can do. I would say it's something
How
you
are
can
we all
do as
doing?
part of a short rest.
Welcome to
You can
our
do it.
little D&D night.
But otherwise, you'd have to actually mark down somewhere how many hours.
Thank
you
you,
were
Grimwolf.
spending.
Thank you. I hope you had a wonderful
And
stream.
when you
Playing
reach
Wolong, that
48,
is a game I really want to get into.
Then you can
I love my
use that.
Souls-like games.
Yeah.
And
Ah.
it lasts after
Thank you
casting,
again.
it
Thanks for
lasts
that wonderful raid.
24 hours, and it does have the
Welcome on
feature
in,
of
raiders.
recast it every day
Lovely to meet you
for a
all.
year. It's
My name is AussieDevFro. I'm a variety
Oh
streamer,
my
and right
God.
now, as I said
like
before,
a
we're playing
circle
some
of
Dungeons and
temptation
Dragons.
or a
Uh,
holy
We're
temple.
doing a fairly heavy
It's
roleplay session tonight.
the
Lots of
temple of the
conversation, lots of
gods is
mysteries
one.
being revealed to us.
Yeah, a lot of
Considering we had a
I was
fairly
like,
combat-heavy
Weird
session
thing,
last
like,
last week.
there's a
And
sanctuary or something.
yeah, we're just enjoying the
Sanctuary. There's a
music,
couple of
enjoying the
spells
roleplay,
that if
and
you cast
enjoying
it at
the
same
failed
spot
rolls.
every day for a year, it becomes
I do have to get
perfect.
back into the game because we do try to stay within the roleplay aspect of within the game itself while we're streaming. However, I do reply via text chat, and always happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding Dungeons and Dragons, myself, the stream, or the story at all.
Guys, continue
Um,
RP.
But thank you again for that wonderful, wonderful raid. I do appreciate it.
RP.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I just got a wonderful raid. And by
Again?
Grimwolf Prime,
What?
yeah. We do have quite a
Oh,
number
these
of
lovely
new friends
people.
here. Are we taking that long break now in game, or?
I mean, we could definitely take a little break. You're all having a long rest, so
Mhm,
you can
mhm.
feel free to take a moment to go through spells for those who want. Rudy finally
Oh, that's
gets
right.
back all of his spells. He can cast
Excellent.
spells again.
Thank you. Actually, Josie, I want to have a quick look at that because I re-looked at the spell.
Mhm.
It's not Rudy that can't cast spells.
I'm pretty sure
If
it
it's
is.
within a year. If it's after a year is when that effect hits him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I had
You
another.
know what? That might be.
I had
hold
another
on,
look at it,
Let
yeah.
me bring it up, because you might be right. I'm not
You
gonna.
know
say that
Resurrection.
you're
So
wrong.
For
casting the
flavoring?
spell to restore life to a creature that has been dead for 1 year or longer. taxes you
Oh,
greatly.
You're right.
I mean, I still loved it for the flavor, and I will 100% like. It was really fun to play it out. But I
You're right,
reread
but
it
now
at the
we
end
know-
of last session. I was like, wait a second, hang on.
Hold on a
I
second.
could have laid some whoop on that dragon.
And then you would have had dragon bones. Imagine.
Nah, but
Your
it was
princess
good.
would've been so
I
happy.
honestly liked it because like the way we played it out was that like Urgathoa did me a favor, so I was sapped of my strength and my Oh, Josie, I think we just lost your mic.
No,
Josie, we lost your mic.
Josie, we lost your mic.
We lost your mic.
Okay.
Now you're actually muted.
No, but it always does that when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
does the unplugging.
No, we still can't hear you.
Mm. It's okay. Take your time because I have to look at spells anyway.
Well, I was actually going to say, since we've got all these wonderful new friends in the chat over here, we might be able to take a moment to introduce ourselves and our characters, those of us who are still here. I might start, if that is not too egotistical of myself.
How dare you start? You were the one that got a raise. How dare?
I'm AussieDevFro. I'm the one down in the corner down here. I'm waving at the camera now. I'm playing Rudy Magic Hands McGee, the party's Grave Domain cleric, who is neither human nor undead, but is actually reborn, which is kind of like this hybrid in between. Joining us is Wedderstorb.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
we hear you.
I am Wedderstorb. I am a tired boy right now. But generally I stream nearly every day of the week. I play a variety of games. I'm essentially AussieDevFro without the fro.
Which I also don't really have at the moment.
Yeah,
Because my hair is
with
wet.
added beard properties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Take away fro, add beard.
But
Well,
who are
you
you?
take
Migrate
layers
it
off here
south,
and just-
if you
yeah.
will.
But who are you
Yeah.
playing, Orb?
What am I playing?
Who are you playing?
I'm playing Arthur Albert III, the
Yourself.
leader of the group. Essentially, he is an extension of me anyway. And he's a ranger elf rogue, and did that totally in the wrong way. But
No, it makes more sense that way, actually. You're multi-classing 3 classes: ranger, elf, and rogue.
that's why I gotta ask everyone if they're an elf.
Yeah. He's also a bard.
He's also
He
bard
failed
wannabe.
bard school.
We're also joined by Roju from Participation Award.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
It's me. Yeah, hi. I'm Roju, Channel's Participation Award. I'm playing Gerald the Wizard, who is actually a warlock and a sorcerer, but not a wizard. And he's a very scared boy most of the time. That's kind of the short of it. Yeah, I don't stream much at the moment because I'm sort of semi-hiatus at the moment, but when I do, there's good times, and there's variety of stuff, and there's voice stuff and stuff, and I don't know. If you like any of that sort of thing, you can come hang out this side as well.
Absolutely. Can recommend Roju's streams because there is definitely a lot of stuff, and it is always good stuff. I can confirm. Who's also made of good stuff is the lovely Curly Raptor.
I'm made of excellent stuff. I'm made of the best stuff. Anyway, I play Nana Melivora. She is a gnome druid, a granny gnome druid, and she really likes to cook, and she thinks all her magic comes from cooking. As for Twitch, I don't know what that is. I've never streamed in my life. So is
She's
that
lying, by the
oh,
way.
we're on oh. Well, it's really nice here. Yeah, nice to be.
Oh
This
dear.
is also new.
That's just what Nana Melivora would say.
Yeah.
The new age stuff. And last but absolutely not least, we have our wonderful dungeon mistress who totally hasn't tried to kill us all in the past. In game, of course.
Would never.
Josie Poser, who we might have just lost the mic of again.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yes, we are having a little bit, some technical difficulties.
But just while Josie sorts that out, I would also like to give a shout out to what will become our eventual combined D&D channel, Natural 30s. So I just shouted out.
What
to
about
them.
now?
Oh, yeah, we got you now.
Can you hear
Yep.
Yep. So not yet, but later this year, probably, we will be switching to a unified channel just for the D&D games. I just shouted it out in chat there. It's Natural 30s. And yeah, go give that a follow. So when we eventually do that, you'll be able to come join us there.
But you can hear me now.
We can.
Yes.
So
We
Josie,
can hear you now. Yeah.
please do
And my
tell us
joke
how
got
awesome you are.
ruined because when you were giving me the shouty outy, it was 13:37 o'clock.
Ah,
Ah,
But the microphone was like, no.
Shout out. Microphone's like, no, you can't.
Didn't
have
want
this
to do
one.
that.
You can't. Fine. Can you still hear me though?
Yes, yes. So who are you, Josie, and what do you do?
I'm Josie Poser, and I'm not a variety streamer. I'm an RPG streamer.
whoa!
What?
And I made this joke yesterday as well.
I
You did.
know. I like
You commit, and that's what's important.
I play D&D here every Sunday with these people.
Well, that was very generous.
What?
Look, they
Mhm.
keep saying, some of these people have in jokes saying like, oh, I can't believe Josie's like dealt with us for this long, but I can't believe they've been dealing with me this long.
That's the easy part, honestly.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Yeah.
The fact that we've been doing this now for 2.5 years
Mm.
is huge.
Speaking of-
We're
96
so
episodes
close.
tonight.
We're so
Yeah.
close to session 100, and that means we've
Mm.
got about 250 hours campaign at that point.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum 200.
How insane is that?
Mm,
It is pretty cool, I think.
mm. But now
Oh
that
shit, Larzapan's right. Okay, so I'm Raiders. I have to tell you about carrots and tomatoes.
No, you
No,
don't. We can go
no, you
back to
don't.
Dungeons and Dragons. So we had a
Yeah,
long
I
rest.
wasn't here. I
Excellent.
really
No,
wanna know.
no,
I
we're
love
no, we
vegetables.
really
It's a
don't.
mistake. It's a
We're just
mistake,
gonna
Dudley. Don't do it.
Mistake?
don't, please.
Yeah.
But
My
I
tired
want to
brain
talk
is
about
just-
it now.
My tired brain is just like, you know what? Let it be. Let it be. They want to talk about it. Let them talk about it now.
I mean, are we
You
talking about
all
vegetables?
a long rest.
Excellent.
I mistrust everything now. Fine, I don't care. It's
You
fine.
wake up in the morning, all of you. You can see that these people, Vice, Ungar again wrapped in these clothes. They are all getting ready to leave. F has taken all of her scrolls and her coat and her hat and put it back on, and she's laid out one of her larger scrolls on the ground. Looks almost like a little bathroom carpet, if you will, made out of parchment that she's rolled out, and they've put like little paperweights on the corners to make it lay a bit more flush on the ground. And they're just standing there as you all wake up and get ready. And Vice turns to all of you and says, I'll tell my mother. And I can't promise what she will say, but keep in mind what you've told me. That is the most I can do currently. I am much older than I seem. I've seen a lot of things.
Thank you for considering us.
Sometimes it's hard to consider the lives of those who do not live too long. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about, gesturing towards Nana and Arthur.
Hmm.
For me, sometimes a decade feels like a moment. I pick up a book, and before I know it, the town is twice as big.
Oh, Nana
as
loves
last
a good
time I
book.
went outside.
Nana loves a good book. I dare say you've probably done that, haven't you?
Read for a decade straight. No, I get hungry.
Oh, my apologies.
But I'll try. I'll try to remember what it was like when I was young and hot-blooded.
Honestly, that is all we can ask. thank you for hearing us out. And again, you know, thank you.
And F looks at all of you. Well, this has been great. I do hope we run into each other some other time. Less dire circumstances, hopefully. And she's like on all fours, like writing on this piece of parchment on the ground. And I hope you all have a really good time, and whatever it is you've set out to do, I hope you succeed. Good luck. And she just like scratches down something on the paper, and she just like gets sucked into the paper itself
Oh, it's
and
nice.
just
Oh.
vanishes. And Vice and Ungar also step in. It's like the text, the ink just turns into this black vortex, and they just get sucked in before the paper just folds in on itself and disappears.
Well, isn't that quite a trick?
Yes. Well, all right. Well, I suppose we should get going.
You see on one of the tables there is an object that has a little red bow tied to it.
Was that there last night?
I don't remember it.
Is it a bomb?
Arthur goes
No,
and
you
picks
look
up the
over and
object.
you see it's the omen glass, and there's a little note attached.
Oh shit!
Arthur reads
Oh.
the note.
It says, "Come give it back to me and watch a show, Vice."
Arthur gives the note to Gerald and gives the item to Gerald as well.
Maybe we didn't insult him as much as I thought we did.
Feel like we insulted him just the right amount.
Anyone who wants to can make an insight check.
I
Rudy-
always want
Rudy
to make
will
an
make an
insight
insight.
check.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Rudy's
that
pretty
is
good at insights. So.
Gerald's bread and butter, obviously.
We have a +9 insight.
That's a-
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
a flat
add.
10.
I'm gonna add my previous life experience that may or may not exist.
17.
19.
19.
How do you like a 21?
21. I'm gonna say that Rudy and Nana.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm gonna give this to Arthur as well because you were close. I'd set the DC to 18, but you got a 17. But you have some. Being an elf, your lifespan is different than the others.
It's got a bit of insight there.
Yeah, a bit of like personal connections.
That's
Mm.
right. I'm old.
But there's definitely like talking to you all the night before. There was definitely something in his words being reminded of what it was like when he was young and hot-blooded. And you get the sense that he's probably a lot older than he looks, and he was reminded of what it was like when he had a different sense of self. Maybe he had a rebellious time. Maybe he went through something and he ended up just being the way he is now. And it doesn't mean that he's going to change, but you all reminded him of
A
something.
time where he was sort of
from his
more
own
connected to the world around him.
Yeah, he probably had a point, especially for Nana and Arthur, knowing what it's like to outlive others.
Hmm.
He's probably outlived a lot of people to the point where he, being half mortal, he probably had to disconnect himself in some way.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, maybe you're right, Gerald. Maybe we did insult him just the right amount to, I don't know, kickstart something.
I hope so. I hardly want more of things we have to look behind us for.
I mean, with this, it seems like we can look forward.
Well,
mirror.
it's still a mirror. It only reflects, Rudy. It's
Gerald, I was
specifically to look behind.
being meant. It's okay. Just
over your shoulder
I-
or your face.
you know what? You definitely need to keep looking over your shoulder. So you hang on to that, and maybe because Gerald would have explained what it does to us in layman's terms, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can use it when you cast one of those things that require the mind to be distracted. Maybe you could assist with the distracting of the mind.
Well, possibly. I don't. It doesn't need attunement or anything, right? It's just something that
No.
anyone can use.
You spend a minute to just like look at your own reflection.
Well, it's something any one of us can use, but I'll certainly hold on to it for us.
I mean, Arthur's already too good at shooting that bow,
What do you mean too good at shooting a bow?
and I don't
Oh,
really
yeah.
need to,
He's
have.
very good at hitting you.
Yes. That's
never
why I mean you're
misses.
too good. It's like your
Like,
arrow
This
remembers.
shot might miss Rudy. I better make it hail thorns.
It's almost as if that arrow has a mind of its own. It remembers piercing my ass way back when we first got it, and it just keeps trying to do that over and over again.
Yeah, maybe something went wrong when they enchanted it to become a returning arrow.
Maybe it
You
when
know,
it
maybe
dr-
maybe part of it is always trying to return to the butt.
maybe I was its first, and it just keeps wanting to come back. Wow,
That's terrible.
that's a really clinging arrow you've got there.
Oh my god.
Returns to
The
you,
first
returns to
one.
me, just bounces between us.
It never forgets its first.
No. Josie, do you want to say it or should I?
Say what?
You hate it here. Thank you. That's all I wanted to
They
say.
can't keep getting away with this.
Right, shall we go?
Because I know it's not in D&D Beyond. I'll put a note here. To add it
I've
later.
put a note to fix it in D&D Beyond as well.
Should you
Awesome.
roll a d20 to secure one?
Yeah, do you want to use
That'd be
the
great.
Omen Glass?
Why not?
Go for it.
Right.
So you only get the one roll? Is that how it works, or do you get to roll a couple of times?
So we can use it 3 times a day.
Right. Okay.
So
And there's nothing that says the same person can't just use them all up.
An 18's all right.
That's an 18 in the bank. That's always pretty
That-
good.
yeah, so you look at your own reflection, and it's almost like a crack starts growing, not in the glass, but in your reflection itself. And you
He
start
says
seeing.
18.
No, it's more like you get that like slight distortion where the shapes of your face are ever so slightly off, and you can see like one of your reflections looks horrified, one of them is dead, one of them looks like laughing at something. There's just like it just keeps cracking and cracking, and then and your eyes just naturally focus on one of these small reflections, and
Where things are going slightly better.
Nice.
yeah, things are going slightly
So wait,
better.
you said the cracks don't appear on the glass, but on Gerald's reflection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
that's
anyone like if say if Rudy was like looking over his shoulder, would Rudy see those same cracks
No.
appearing? No. Okay.
No,
Oh,
Damn.
it
that's
just
cool.
looks like Gerald's staring into a mirror.
I had
Yeah,
a
right,
great
that's-
joke lined up, but
Odd.
that's
Uh,
fine.
But
I
you
have a
now have
request.
an 18 that you can essentially exchange for any dice roll that has to do with you.
Did
I
you
have a
want
request.
to-
Please still roll the dice. I want us to feel regret if we use it and we got a natural 20. I
Yeah,
want us
the
to
rules
feel
for
that.
portent is that you cannot choose after the die has been rolled.
Okay,
You
but can
have
we roll it
to-
afterwards? Because I gotta know.
just to know what you
What you
could
would
have
have got.
been.
What could have been?
Right.
I need to.
Did you? I'm not sure. Did 2 of you want to use the other 2 for today? I mean, might
Wait,
as
can we
well.
do that?
Sure. Why not? There's 3 shots. Excuse me.
You
Lots
ate a
of
little
soup.
too much
That soup
soup there,
coming
Gerald.
Must have eaten it too quickly.
Must be the carrots.
It's got to be the carrots. Did you want to?
You mean the potatoes?
Who said that?
Yes. I mean,
And
yeah.
you look at your shoulder and you can see the captain, the intellect devourer.
The whole
Oh.
time.
No, he's not. He's back
He's
in
back-
Evan's fight.
Oh no! Who knows what's going on back there?
Uh,
I mean, if you're offering it to Rudy, Rudy would absolutely do it.
Oh, go right
Rudy,
ahead.
if you get a 1, you can
Because do
finally
you
get
not
a
remember
divine
that
intervention.
you put the intellect devourer in a suit of armor and he's running drills with
Yes.
That's
with dice
right.
suds?
right.
We
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
So just roll a flat
Because
d20.
I'm pretty sure that Rudy like took like something akin to a corpse, hid it inside a suit of armor, and then you just like put the intellect
Yeah.
devourer in the corpse head.
I think
Look,
that is indeed what happened.
We weren't gonna figure anything else out, so that's how it went.
I mean, it's
Fine.
a smart idea though.
All right. Apparently, I'm storing a 10.
Yeah,
Hey,
but divine intervention
is-
though.
No,
Yeah, because it's
No!
not a
the
D20
100
roll.
roll.
Ah.
Right. You remember that you get to add any modifiers, so it could be it could be to a saving throw, an attack roll.
Right,
You could
okay.
use it to exchange an attack against you.
Yeah, yeah. So a 10 is
or-
still useful.
That's
10 is still
actually,
useful.
yeah,
Yeah,
useful.
yeah.
I feel like
That is still
any
useful.
stored role where you
Could
know
you
what it's gonna
imagine?
be is
Yeah,
really useful.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta note. Oh no, I gotta
Nana,
remember.
did you want to go?
No, why doesn't Arthur have a turn?
Arthur?
Oh, I don't know.
Or do you want to say, or should we save the last one for the day?
Oh, let's save it just in case.
But the whole point of isn't the whole point of it though that you do it before everything so you have it ready to go.
It may not. Well, yes, just so you know, it may not regain its full power every day.
Oh right.
It's a little bit. It seems a little bit variable.
Yeah, we'll hold off. I'll hold off. I'm good with my bow. Unless I'm not talking to someone, I'll be right.
You seem a very crack shot. I can't imagine you'd need to change fate that much when it comes to your arrows.
Look, I don't want to boost my ego, but
Please don't do that.
but it does fly true.
you
True and
do
Trudy's
know how
ass,
to aim
but-
and loose. I will
No,
give you that.
Can we go now?
Oh yes. Do you want to step out of the tower, and I'll, just stand a little clear. Yes. Don't
Ready?
be inside when I collapse it.
Arthur's outside.
Why would we be
You all
crushed
step
thoroughly?
outside,
Oh,
and it does
don't
in
know.
an instant. It just chunks
Ooh.
down into the size of a little chess piece.
Okay. If Jalira survives the train, if we can get her inside that thing.
I think it would just eject her
No.
potentially, but it could also crush. I just didn't want to take the risk.
Where's that badger?
I do
Oh,
know you
wait.
don't want to be in the vicinity of it when it expands. That would be very painful.
Please, we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
You can also see the barrier starting to disappear around. You again find yourself in the forest. There's snow on the ground. There's thick, soft moss. The snow is coming down. Every now and then there's like a piece of the canopy that gets too heavy and it just falls in on itself, and a big chunk of snow comes dribbling down from above. It's cold. Even though most of the snow is filtered away, it's still almost halfway up your calves. For Nana, it's like she's having to wade through the snow. Here and there, you see game trails. Definitely some form of wildlife still living around. You can hear the hoot of certain birds. You see some thick-coated owls sitting on perches, keeping an eye out. I would like one of you all to roll me a d6.
I'll do it.
I want Orb to do it.
I'll do it.
Go
Do
Arthur.
it.
6.
Nice. Or not nice.
Six.
Depends. Really depends.
6 shadow dragons.
Let's see.
I feel like this was bad.
As you're all walking through the snow, doing your best to, I'm assuming Gerald's on the broom just above.
And he probably would have offered Nana to ride
A
along,
ride.
seeing her like wade neck deep through snow or however deep it is.
Yes.
As Rudy and Arthur are trying to like pulse their way through the snow, it's still going faster than expected. You are moving at half speed, but then again you get double speed thanks to Arthur, so you're still making good pace. When Arthur, you feel something sharp and cold on your leg as you take 2 points of slashing damage and 1 point of cold damage.
Damn, God damn those
Now,
icicles.
Arthur is gonna overreact this and
God damn it.
Arthur, what is wrong? Get up. What?
You
What's wrong,
look
Arthur?
back and there's a few dribbles of red blood in the snow.
Oh, Arthur, did
What
you
happened?
stub your toe? He stubbed his toe. He's fine. Arthur,
Uh,
get
does
up, will
this
you?
look like a stabbed toe? And he shows the wound, the scratch.
Yeah, it looks like a small gash wound.
Oh.
Like he's been cut by something.
Oh,
What?
that's okay. He stubbed his toe really bad.
What happened, Arthur?
Well, I was walking as a normal person does, and I feel a pain, and I went down.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me, Arthur.
Oh my god.
What have you run into?
What did you run into? What did you roll?
Oh,
Get
wow.
Get out of here. Okay.
Natural 20 on
Okay.
the
You know
save.
what?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
It definitely doesn't feel good. Like it's got that icy hot sensation on your leg, and you look down, and there's something in the snow path that you've all just made. There's something sticking out of the snow.
Hold on, it might be.
We should move out of the road, and Gerald should use a fireball.
No, just before we start fireballing everything, Rudy takes a closer look at it.
I don't know if I want to fireball on top of you, Arthur.
No, we'll move out of the road. We'll move out of the road, obviously, but it's no. It's no.
Just the idea. We should go and let Gerald fireball.
Just-
It's
I
like the
stubbed my
first line
toe.
of defense.
Yeah, fireball.
Yeah. If not fireball, then Eldritch Blast. It's like just what
Yeah.
fireball in the
Pick-
snow, Eldritch Blast
Fireball.
everywhere else.
But Gerald is, of course, absolutely
Hmm.
concerned that this is something about to murder us. But what, you know, what, Arthur, what is it?
I don't know what it is. That's why
I'm looking.
What is it?
It's okay.
I want to roll an investigation.
I'm already.
check.
Yeah, Rudy's already going up to it.
Can we?
What-
Sure.
yeah.
It's investigation if you're like actually using your hands to move things away to look for stuff, and perception is if you're just using your senses.
Perception is what Rudy's doing.
Okay. Let's
Just
do
having a
perception
look-see.
first. Yeah, that makes sense.
Having a good
Yeah.
old look. That's a 25.
Oh, perception's better anyway. Let's go.
Whoa.
Wow, how do we all feel about fucking 11? I guess she's in the air, so you know what? Can't see.
Yeah,
much of
she's like
Uh,
looking
yeah.
down, can't quite see much.
that. Just your glasses. I can't see anything. Get closer.
Yeah. After seeing what it did to Arthur just by like sort of walking into it, Rudy doesn't want to touch it, but he's definitely getting close enough to.
You see what looks like a sharp, almost glass-like object that's just sticking out of the snow where Arthur's had just walked.
Oh.
Arthur walks up to it with his sunblade. He turns it on. Does it melt the ice?
No, because it's radiant. It's not actual fire.
Arthur prods it with the sunblade.
Arthur, don't.
You prob it. It looks like it moves a little bit, but it's heavily packed snow that's quite dense, so it doesn't like rock loose, but it's definitely moves. Doesn't
What is
seem
it,
to be too
Arthur?
big.
We don't.
I don't know.
It's-
and
it's-
he continues to keep prodding it.
Arthur, stop poking it. It seems to be some form of glass. I think it might be like a. I don't know. We got to remove some of this ice. Hold on.
All right, easy. Arthur starts hacking.
Arthur, you
around
have
with his-
that belt on. Just lift the ice.
It might hurt again. And he uses his sunblade to keep
That's what
whacking
I'm
around.
here for.
Oh, look,
God.
just hold on. You know, quickly cast Mage Hand and see if I
Mhm.
can. If they've pointed it out to me, can I grab it with the Mage Hand and pull
Yeah.
it out of the snow?
You pull it out, and it is quite small, actually.
Is this it? And sort of floats it
Yeah,
up.
and you've got what looks like this big piece of ice that have been roughly shaped into a knife or a dagger.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
It has very similar vibes to like an obsidian dagger, but it looks
Ah.
see-through, like it's
Yeah.
made out of ice or glass.
Rudy
Um,
quickly checks the hole where it came from. Is there like a body that was holding onto it or something, or is
You
it
want
just
to dig around a
Yeah,
bit?
Rudy digs around a bit now.
You dig around, and you do eventually find a frost mummified hand.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, this was
No.
holding it. Rudy yanks the hand out.
You yank it, and there is resistance, and
Ah, help.
eventually it snaps off, and you have this like freeze-dried arm with a hand that's like in a claw.
This was holding it.
Oh, Rudy,
Oh,
you just
no.
stole someone's arm.
To be fair, if I had this a couple of days ago, it might have been really useful.
I don't think they need it anymore. By the way,
I still think the fireball might be the good way to go here because some of the
No,
ice.
no,
Rudy
no,
turns
Jared,
around to
get down there.
Arthur and goes, "Look, Arthur, look," and goes to like pat him on the cheek with the hand.
Oh,
It's
Arthur
fine.
walks
It's
away.
okay.
Arthur
I'll-
walks
I'll-
away. Arthur's
I'll-
now walking away.
I'll lower Nana down as she requested.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
uh,
Nana will produce flame and gently melt so that we may see who the person is,
Or
potentially.
was.
Or was, rather, yeah.
You see frozen various layers of ice and frost. Definitely someone who perished here.
Hmm.
The body has been somewhat kept through the cold and the ice, but is definitely dried to some extent. It is very much a freeze-dried mummy.
Hmm.
The clothes are... There's a little bit left. Seems to be someone who was of an adventurous sort. And while any form of armor or anything they were carrying looks to have been of fine make, it doesn't seem to be magical. There's
Mm.
nothing that's kept that has that like definitive tinge of magical resiliency.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Do you want to, one of you, check them over, see if there's any identification or anything?
Arthur can do that. I'm more interested in some animal seems to have gnawed this arm. There's like these bone marks, teeth marks on the bone here. Rudy's studying the arm.
Arthur's away from Rudy at the moment, so
All right, Nana. If Nana looks at him, I can roll an investigation because just to check him over, see who he might be. There's probably nothing really of import there.
You'd need a lot more time if you want to get anything discerning out. You'd have to like
Yeah.
actually thaw some of the frost off, because currently it's like a solid object.
Yeah.
Fully entombed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look. It seems a bit icy. It might take me a while. Do we want to go to the village?
I feel like we should keep moving. I think that's
Rudy,
more...
can you just give him some sort of, I don't know.
Right.
I can, yes.
Whatever you do.
I suppose I should return this then. And Rudy returns the arm as best he can.
I'm not going to tell on anyone if you keep it on.
No,
but,
no,
you
no,
know.
no, no. I can.
I'm not a dog. Don't slap me with that.
I'm putting it back, Arthur.
Gerald,
Yes.
having a closer look, you actually discussed this material last night with F. It's a Spherera dagger.
Here you go.
Nice. That was my next question. So I was like, do we need a freezer to keep it in, or is it just good?
So it is a +1 dagger that deals an extra 1d4 of cold damage, and on a Constitution save 15 or lower, whoever has been hurt loses 5 foot of movement speed until the end of their next turn.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Ha.
All right. Do any of you want this?
Question, Josie, can we hold it without getting the ice damage? Was that just for like the
Currently,
darts and
it
stuff?
doesn't look like it's got much of a handle.
Okay, so we probably need to like have gloves on or something so we don't get cold damage. Is my thought.
Probably.
Okay, cool. That's just what I wanted to know. Look, I can keep it for you, but I'm afraid I'm not very good with daggers, even though it says in my weapons that I am.
Gerald, you sometimes poke people with a dagger. Why don't you hang on to it?
That's true, actually. I do have a few up in my belt.
Maybe we can get a handle fastened for it in the village, and then...
Possibly. I'm sure I've got some... I sort of just have a bit of a quick look through my bag while the mage hand is holding it. See if I've got any just like rags or some sort of cloth that I could just, wrap around and tie as just a makeshift handle for now.
Arthur, while everyone else is dealing with this, your elf eyes see that you're reaching the end of the forest. You can see lights of a town ahead. It helps that the snow doesn't fall as heavy among the trees, though there is quite dense foliage here, but you can see lights that stick out through the dim of the heavy snow and the clouds. So you think you're not too far away. Well, you can see it ahead. At current pace, it's still maybe 20 minutes away.
Arthur sort of try and rallies up the group. Come on, we got 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes, half an hour. In that direction, we'll be there. We'll get out of this darn snow and stop poking our legs.
Arthur, we've been doing this for a long time now. You don't need to motivate us to keep walking.
And I'm flying anyway, so...
Well, stuff you all, and Arthur starts walking.
Gerald sort of leans down to give Nana a hand back up onto the broom. And
Rudy looks around. No one's giving him a hand on the broom. He's like, fine. Just walk.
You keep walking through the snow-covered forest floor. And you do see the end of the forest eventually, and on the other side, it's hard to see too far with the snow. It's not necessarily coming down heavy, but it's coming down nonetheless, obscuring your vision at a certain point. But you see these log cabins. Like maybe 2-3 dozens or so, small houses. Some of them mostly clustered around a larger structure that stands 2, almost 3 floors tall. They have steam coming out of them, and you can hear, deafened as if behind walls, you can hear the constant release of steam.
That looks warm.
And you can see there's a well that you pass by very to the outside of this village, where you also see a faint trail of hot air rising up. While the snowfall is still coming down, you see the ground around here doesn't have as much. And you can see further away, you're actually close to the... I don't know if I'd call it a coastline, but you can see ice that leads out to its combined ice and a wooden bridge of sorts leading out. You can see a couple of boats that have been pulled up onto the shoreline. Some of them are attached to wooden posts, and you can see these floating around outside. You can see these large ice arcs almost. They are just spinning around. They look like little lily pads of ice that are just floating and bobbing on the ice. And looking around the buildings that you pass first, heading into this village, you follow a game trail that leads through a couple of these. These buildings stand empty, most of them. Steam are coming out of the buildings near the center, near this larger building. But the ones on the outside, further away in the direction you came from, Some of the windows are open. You can see inside there's snow. There's debris. They've been emptied though, not like someone just up and left. There's just this vacuous void inside the buildings.
That is
And
not a good sign.
As you get closer, you get to a center area, a square, if you will, an open area where you can actually see cobblestones. And there's water. Instead of walking on snow that crunches underfoot, you're walking in puddles of water. And there's this large grate in the ground. You can hear movement underneath. And as you look closer, there's this sudden kind of heavy smoke trail of steam comes up from below. Turn away, it's warm. It's really warm in your face. You look up and you can see the entrance to this big log cabin standing. It's got a huge entrance and it looks like it's being kept. It looks like it's being kept clean. You can see light coming from within and you can hear a couple of voices. When Arthur, looking out over the water, you spot something familiar. Well, there are boats moored. Further out, you can see, just at the very edge of what your vision allows, in this snowfall, you see an anchored ship with the jade green cloud designs along the edges. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh, Captain Feathers! Ah!
The captain is back.
The captain is back. Or at least
let's
kind of on his way. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
We love the
Excited.
captain.
We love the captain.
Love the
I
captain.
love the captain.
Another
We love
ally.
him.
Another ally.
Let's go.
Well, I hope you all had fun today. Thank you, Cuddly, for coming in as quickly as you did.
Yay.
I hope you had fun with your concert, though.
I did. It was very fun. And then I was like, bloop, bloop. Sorry for disrupting your very important conversation, though, because I didn't get that.
That was good. It was good.
No, it's fine. I feel like we got the better end of the deal by having you join us earlier,
Oh,
though.
Absolutely.
It's always the
Stop
better
it.
end of the
Keep
deal.
going.
Having a
Stop
cuddly
it.
raptor.
Sorry, you guys keep distracting chat. I just need to really quickly run to the little Froze room. So
No,
I'll be
Do
back. in
so.
just
I
2
also know
seconds.
that Orb is about to crash.
Is
Orb,
tired. Go bed.
Look at that boy.
Go
look at
bed.
that boy. Look at
Look at
him.
him.
Look
I,
at him. go.
boy.
I mean,
Such
like,
a sleepy boy.
I mean, trying to get
Poor
myself
sleepy
away.
guy. Yeah.
All right,
Go
not
bed.
at all.
Go bed.
Good night,
Go bed.
Orby.
Good
Yeah.
night.
I also think he needs to run because he's afraid that Alana Sujour is going to be in town and question why Arthur just left.
Well.
Shit.
Dang.
Oh my god, running into an old flame? Couldn't be Arthur.
Ooh.
Literally an old flame. Yeah. He just didn't want to get chained down. Because she's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's a chain tiefling.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. We all okay.
Okay, we
It
got
was
it.
really
we got
funny, guys. I promise.
I
Oh my
remember
god,
the chains.
I've been waiting for a good time to bring them back into this.
Yes. Love
Nice,
them.
nice. And the
Because sometimes when I do like session planning or I'm thinking ahead of things that we like to have in the story, I do want to have like recurring characters more than just pumping you full of new ones all the time.
yeah.
So I've been like, okay, it's been a couple of months since you last met the crew of the Tide Rider. How do I bring them back in? And then I was doing, and then it's more like I want this to happen. How do we get there? And I feel like that's a good DM tip for anyone out there. Feel free to like think of cool things, and then you just give a good, reasonable excuse for why it fits.
Yeah.
And
great thing
sometimes
is
the reason
it's
is
just us.
just because I wanted it to, and that's okay.
And
too.
and
That's a bad
sometimes
DM
you'll
tip, but
actually
that's what I'm
sometimes
doing
you'll
for.
actually realize that it fits the story's narrative better than you thought. Like you
Mm.
manage to find those connectors after the fact, and you're like,
Mm.
wow, That's so cool.
It makes
Like,
sense
as a
more than
DM
I
as
thought it
well.
did. Yeah.
I have
like,
never
I've
questioned
had
a
a
thing
lot
Josie's
of
told me. Never.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of moments like that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you're not actively the storyteller yourself, you just accept that there is a reason for whatever has happened,
Yeah.
or that
Mhm.
whoever is wherever. There's canonically some good reason that they're there or doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and sometimes because I also had motivations and things for the NPCs. I had prepared like information dockets for the 3 NPCs that were here earlier during the session.
Mhm.
And I like while we were having conversations, and I was like essentially checking off things as you brought up topics. I was like, okay, we've talked about that. Okay, we talked about that. If it hadn't been for the harsh attitude of Gerald and Rudy towards Vice, he maybe wouldn't have actually considered it.
Just
High five!
Because like I was just thinking of because I was thinking about it, like he's a lot older than he seems, and he's very much reached the point of like, I'll just do my own thing.
Mm.
Like the world changes whether or not I put myself in it. So
Mm.
why don't I just do my own thing?
Because I was afraid that we pushed too hard. Honestly.
No, because he literally was like, it's just easier to do what mom says
Mm.
sometimes because he doesn't really want
Do what
to
Mom
make
says.
those decisions.
Well, there was like
Yeah.
another angle that we kind of could have gone with, like, because he has his traveling companions, right? They're obviously, or they're potentially not going to live as long as he is, and so like, Rudy was.
Well,
Can,
he yeah, well, like that's from your perspective, that's how you see it, but F and Vice, they haven't been traveling together for very long. Like they know each other
okay.
because while F isn't a planeswalker, she is incredibly well versed in using the shadow plane as a way of travel,
Right.
because the shadow plane is like a black mirror of the prime material plane. So if she needs to get somewhere, she will usually go through the shadow plane.
Right.
Because it gives her a sort of shortcut. And Vice was studying one of the few natural gateways to the shadow plane.
Okay.
So they just know each other as like they've run into each other a couple of times, and they were doing each other a service. Now in Ungar is literally just a soul stuck inside a skull. He's just a skelly boy.
He's just chilling. Just a little skelly guy.
So
Just a silly little skelly
So I
guy.
think
But I loved the conversation topics that you brought up, because it's also really like rewarding for me as a DM, because I usually give these NPCs like just a guideline of motivation. And then just like how your characters evolve as you play them, it's like as I play some
Same
of
as
the
the
NPCs,
NPCs,
I'm like, no, you know what? They feel like this. They
Mm.
will do this.
Yeah. It's something that oftentimes, I mean, and this is for players and NPCs both, that you won't be able to know in advance necessarily, all of the ways that your character might react to all these different things, right? And it's not until you're in the moment with all the things that have happened, and where you can say,
It is
no,
improv acting in
Yeah.
the bottom of it. You
That's-
just have to
Yeah,
react,
absolutely.
and then you realize, like, oh, that's how my character thought. Okay.
That's like
yeah, exactly.
Neat.
that's like why I try to not think throughout the week, oh, how should have Rudy have reacted to things? It's kind of like I try to like how I reacted in the moment is the natural reaction that Rudy would have had. The only sort of times I've kind of like, no, I've got to think about this as like, say, the severing of the hand, right? I had to take some time to go, wait, no, how is he going to react to this? Because you gave me that week essentially to react to this. And I had to very clearly think out a process here. But like, I've actually wanted to, I was saying to Nocti for ages, I want to do some improv classes because I think it would not only help with streaming, but like for stuff like this, I think it would really help in terms of like you know, being able to react maybe a little bit faster or a little bit more, I don't know, almost naturally as well. So, yeah,
And it helps as well in like day-to-day social
Mhm.
encounters, like in person, just walking down the streets. Like it can help people. Some people have like a lot of social anxiety. It can help to have those improv classes. Yeah, because it helps you not necessarily think on your feet, but it helps you get through the situation. If that makes sense,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you learn to react rather than get stuck in overthinking during a social encounter, and it can be really helpful for some. I know that some people still go like afterwards and are like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said this, but I think it helps in the fact that you said something at all.
Yeah, definitely.
So AussieDevFro is going to be a zip zap zop kind of guy pretty soon.
I have no idea what you mean by that. But...
Oh my god! Someone validate me, please.
I'm assuming
It's the warm up. It's the improv warm up that all the American theater kids do when they share their energy. Don't worry, you're gonna love it.
Look,
gonna be great.
I haven't signed up for anything just yet.
I'm gonna take you more. It's great.
We used to do charades as warm ups.
Could we all just like could we all just go to a class for funsies together?
We could.
I would love that personally.
Oh my gosh,
it'd be so cool.
Danny's screaming yes in chat, by the way. Yes, we
no,
do.
Danny, no.
Next time you're all down for PAX. Okay.
Look, some year in the future, I'll be there for PAX.
Yeah. Well, we've had Dutch, so now
yeah.
Josie.
Yeah, I've actually set it as one of my goals. One of my life goals is that 2024 I'm going to Australia.
Yes.
That's my goal.
Come for PAX.
I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know where, but I've just decided that that is one of my goals. Is 2024 I'm going to Australia.
Melbourne. There you go.
Oh dear.
Well, the goal would be to stick around for like at least 10 days and travel around.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have to go to the Fantasy Valley where Cuddly lives.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. This is where
If you
this,
keep
is
saying,
this
like-
is my backyard.
Honestly, it doesn't look that different apart from the giant acorns and the little mushroom house. Well, maybe the mushroom house. Is pretty
No, mushroom
accurate,
house
but-
is that's
but-
my neighbor. She's
but
really
the
nice.
rest of it
Thanks.
is pretty accurate, really, to that area.
That's pretty cool.
The pictures I've seen and from what Cuddly has told me, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Have I oversold this?
Maybe,
No,
but
it's
that's on
pretty.
you.
It's definitely pretty.
I haven't been there yet. I don't know.
What?
I haven't been to your
Okay.
place.
Have you not
Sounds
been
fine.
out?
Oh my god.
Out
To
into
the mystical-
eastern ranges.
Nope.
Oh my god.
That's not where I live.
Whimsical. Can I also just say I'm gonna do some shameless self-promotion? Say I'm 1 follower away from 400.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
At
God,
which
we
point,
follow
at
you
which point we're
right
doing,
now.
I'm doing another cooking stream.
Oh my
my God.
gosh.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god.
do
Someone
that.
follow right now.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
yeah,
it. We need it.